heating your home. Get set for winter now with a Bob Burns Blinds Winter Warmer Special. Book your free measure and quote at bobburnsblinds.com.au.
G'day, it's Eddie May here from NRG Solar. People buy a solar system to save money and do the right thing by the environment. So why would you buy a battery? Well, people buy a battery because they want independence from the grid. They don't want to be inconvenienced in the event of a blackout, and of course, protect themselves from future power rises. Now, electricity is going up, so whatever your needs are regarding solar and battery storage, you can rely on NRG Solar for the right solution. Visit nrgsolar.com.au.
I'm Kathy Nagel, the Chief Executive of Western Hospital Henley Beach. Many people don't know that they don't need health insurance to be treated in a private hospital. Many procedures are more affordable than you may think, and access to a wide range of specialists and services is just a phone call away. So if you're considering surgery, there are various payment options available, and we can arrange a personal quote. If you have questions about paying for your own procedure in a private hospital, give Western Hospital a call on 8159 1200 to discuss.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's FIVEAA.
A possible late shower with the 4 o'clock news. I'm Kerry Turner. The Department of Foreign Affairs and Trade is providing consular assistance to the family of a South Australian man who died on Mount Everest. Jason Kennison, who had been living in Perth, began to feel unwell after reaching the summit last week. He died on Friday. He was raising funds for Spinal Cord Injuries Australia after surviving a serious crash in 2006 and learning to walk again. Police are looking for a ute stolen during a home invasion at Hillbank. Just after 3 this morning, the occupant of an Oberon Court address woke to 2 suspects inside their house demanding keys to the occupant's car. They took off in the blue Holden HSV R8 Maloo ute. Registration is S597BNN, and police say it has an identifiable sticker on the back window for an automotive business. Anyone who sees the ute is asked to call 131 444. Labor has accused the opposition leader of mounting a dishonest campaign against an Indigenous voice to Parliament. Federal politicians have started debating legislation to alter the Constitution in the hope of enshrining the advisory body in the nation's founding document. Peter Dutton says while he supports Indigenous recognition, the voice is a retrograde step. But Indigenous Australians Minister Linda Burney has told Parliament that's just scaremongering.
We have just heard in one speech every bit of disinformation and misinformation and scare campaigns that exist in this debate.
The buy now, pay later industry will soon be regulated under existing credit laws to better protect consumers. There are about 7 million active accounts with Afterpay and Zip among the industry leaders. Under new rules, lenders will have to make sure a borrower has the capacity to repay their loan. Financial Services Minister Stephen Jones says the extra safeguards are needed.
There is evidence that there's been multiple accounts sold to people who simply can't afford them, that people are missing essential payments, that people are going without so that they can make their buy now, pay later and their other credit repayments.
There are 3 new millionaires in South Australia, but 2 of them might not even know it yet. They each had a Division 1 win in Saturday night's Cross Lotto draw, with each ticket worth $1.25 million. So far, a Salisbury woman is the only one to have come forward. The so far unclaimed winning entries were bought at the Mawson Central News Agency in Mawson Lakes and the St Agnes News Agency. And early inductions have been found to not only be safe for babies, but could be safer for mums too. A study from the University of Melbourne has found women who were induced at 39 weeks experience better health outcomes post-birth. Lead researcher Dr Roxanne Hasty says early induction is becoming quite popular.
For women who had an induction of labour at 39 weeks, they had almost a 40% reduction in having perineal injury, so that's a 3rd or 4th degree tear during labour, and these are pretty significant injuries for women that can take quite a while to heal and be quite traumatic.
Now turning to 5AA Sport, and Port Adelaide captain Tom Jonas has accepted his one-match ban for rough conduct and will miss Sunday's game against Richmond at the MCG, while Melbourne will appeal Lockie Hunter's one-game ban for front-on contact with Connor Rozee. Carlton President Luke Sayers believes the Blues still have the potential to impact finals, insisting finals this year is still the club's goal. The Blues have dropped out of the 8 after yesterday's loss to Collingwood. Sayers has guaranteed coach Michael Voss's job is safe, even if Carlton doesn't feature in September.
Absolutely. Vossi's our coach through to the end of next year. Michael Voss has been a tremendous asset for this football club, and we're looking forward to doing great things with him in the future.
And Brooks Koepka is crediting his PGA Championship victory to his final round capitulation at the Masters last month. The American finished second at Augusta after shooting 3 over par in his final round to forfeit a 2-shot lead. He says he continues to improve with experience.
I think failure is how you learn. You get better from it. You realise what mistakes you've made. Each time I've kind of made an adjustment. It's more mentality than it is anything.
Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
At Ubrago, traffic lights out at the bottom of the freeway near the crossroad at Glen Osmond Road intersection. Jocelyn got a crash there, Lambert Road near 2nd Avenue. Ampracker got preparation works for a wide load later this afternoon. That's Montague Road near Main North Road. Busy South Road at Edwardstown with a camera Alawin Avenue at Mitchell Park. Toolkit Depot makes tax time easy with great deals on your favourite tool brands, tons of stock and helpful staff. Shop in-store or online at Toolkit Depot, your tax time partner. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
To the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
A possible late shower, a shower or two tomorrow, 18. For Wednesday, partly cloudy and 20, and then showers Thursday, 17. Right now it is 16 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
An inspirational charity trek ends with an Adelaide man dying on Everest. An innocent driver hurt, hit by a stolen car in Adelaide's west. Details of a crackdown on buy now, pay later schemes. Moves to reduce mortgage switching, but the ways in which you can still cash in. And only on 9, the diet, good for your family and your budget. I'm Brenton Raglas. The full story on 9 News tonight at 6. The 5AA Sports Show. Rowie and Timmy G.
Yeah, 6 minutes after 4 on this lovely sunny Monday. Hopefully your week's got off to a great start. Big weekend of footy and sport to unpack, and we'll do that with Stephen Rowe and Tim Ginniver. Boys, good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Sam. Yes, a Monday, well, it's got a feeling like it's a mixed bag of lollies. Sometimes you get some nice ones in there and sometimes you get some crap, and that was pretty much what the weekend delivered up to us. Well, we had the Reds knocked out, unfortunately. Then we had the state team win, we had the Crows lose, we had a Port win, T-Birds lose. It was all sorts of things happening. And for you, Stephen Rowe, I felt like you had a mixed bag of lollies. You've had your son win the Foss Williams medal and the state team win, which was fantastic. And then you've gone out fishing and caught two whiting. I mean, that's what I mean. That was what the weekend delivered.
Good afternoon, Timmy. Yeah, and Crows losing wasn't good, but at least Nord didn't lose. The state game was outstanding. And just on James, well done. He loves the state. He loves that state jumper. He was thrilled to get selected, so thank you, Timmy, and all the coaches. It was a great win by 13 points. And to win the Foss Williams medal, and he knows how much Mark Williams means to me as a player. Like, he's one of those players growing up that I'd always admired, and for him to put it over his neck was special. So,
yeah, it was.
Well done him. And he's just gotten on with it, and I'm so proud of him.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that
no
was...
Suki Lala, just got on with it.
No, he's got that attitude, which is terrific, and it was one of the things we spoke about in the build-up to the state game was that, attitude is everything, and how you go about it is really important. And I'll tell you, a player in the squad, everybody's attitude was delivered really well.
Yeah. You can see why I did it for 15 years. We've won 4 straight. Addictive. You've won 1 from 1. Over to you, Timmy.
I was a little concerned in the last quarter when we were down by, I think, 3 or 4 points.
They did it last year as well. They did that last year as well. They keep coming.
Yeah, they have a go, don't they the WA boys. So
what's the record now?
50-48. So we're 2 in front after winning the last 4 in a row after being down. So it's a tight comp, and it's great. It's the only, I think it's the only state football left in Aussie rules.
It is. It is.
Yeah, so that is. I'm glad they've got it happening, and I hope
and the
they
players
can keep
love
going.
it. So well done to you, Timmy, and to all the boys. Brilliant. Loved
Well, it
it.
certainly was a long Friday for me. I got to the ground at about 1 o'clock, and
you were wound up too, I heard.
I was wound up, there's no doubt about that. Left at 11ish and ended up catching up afterwards and got to bed a bit late. And then
who'd you catch up with?
Old mate of mine, David Hines. Yeah.
Well, that's always going to end in tears.
It's always going to end in tears, especially when Wayne Marnie's hosting. So
oh, no.
You know it's going to go pear-shaped. But look, it was terrific to do that, but it made it a long day. But what a stirring victory it was on Friday night. And for Port Adelaide, they opened up beautifully. They were challenged by what is a very good side in Melbourne, kicking 7 goals in the third term. Then to resettle and come back at them and win was just such an exceptional win. Ken Inkley was pretty happy about it too.
Resilience, pressure, effort, all the things you get challenged in great games of footy. It was another great game of footy. We've been in a few of them already this year. Just love the way they hang in. Pretty special.
Yeah, spot on, and you could see the joy on his face at the end of the game, and so many Port supporters were just over the moon. And I always get the feeling when you walk the streets, you'd know it, Rowie, when you played, you press the flesh and you get the feedback, either or either, depending on how you're going. So many over the weekend and today even just said, that is Port Adelaide. That's how we play. Yeah. It went back, do you remember that period when they'd lost 2 in a row? And I said, for me, the KPI that's missing, never ever give in. Yeah. It's not just not just a slogan or a marketing thing. Just keep doing that. And
they have.
And they did.
Last time you won 7 straight, you made the prelim in 2021. Last time you won 8 straight, you've got Tigers at the G. You made the prelim in 2014. You're in prelim form.
That is prelim form, no doubt about that. But as we know, as I said last week, you can't count the old chickens before they're hatched, can you? You just got to keep that head down and bum up, and that's what they did. And this bloke had it, I reckon his head down, bum up all night. Zach Butters, here's Ken on him.
Without individualising too much, but Zach's game deserves a little bit. I mean, I'm not sure that there's too many better games you'll see from a little fella, tough, brave, who takes big moments and turns them into something special. I
think they said he weighs 77 kilo. Wow. I mean, the way he bores in and knocks people out the way, Lord help when he gets a few more on him.
He got the perfect 10 again for the coaches' votes. He's now equal leader on 51. He's got a perfect 10 in the last 3 weeks. He's got 4 perfect 10s. He is the form player of the comp. Some are saying now comes into Brownlow favouritism. Gamble responsibly. He's $12. If you're out there listening, have a Bo Peep. I said to the Brekkie team, probably the best individual game of any player this year. Now, I know Jeremy Cameron will say hello with his 7 because he's a star. 41 touches, 10 clearances, 2 goals, 8 inside 50s, 12 score involvements, when it's 78% in the wet, better than any other player on that field. That is pure brilliance, class, grunt and desire. He is a gun. And Ken always knew that.
Oh, yeah.
He's always been his favourite.
Yeah, I think
you've
everybody's
now got a
him.
Brownlow medalist in Ollie. You got one to win one, and that's
Connor Rosee.
Connor Rosee. You now got this bloke.
Yeah.
And you got another one as well.
I saw...
His name's Jason Horne-Francis.
I was just about to say that.
That's a midfield.
Oh, yeah.
That if they all reach their potential, the last 3 especially, that's talking the West Coast of Judd, Kerr and Cousins. That's the Voss, Lappin.
Yeah.
That's exciting, mate.
Yeah, you're dead right. It's right up there. So
that is exciting.
Again, what are we round?
Well done,
We've had 10 games.
10
so,
games.
yeah, we've still got...
8 and 2, third in the ladder.
Still got 13 games to go, and
Sign
see how we go. On the other side of the ledger, it wasn't a great day for Adelaide, and Matty Nix, well, he wasn't too happy about the Bulldogs' loss either.
You bring it back to the contest is where the game was won and lost, and we were found wanting in that area. Credit to the Bulldogs, they were outstanding in that space, but we... for the performances we've been putting out there, this was a big step backwards for us. Didn't get the game on our terms at all. In fact, we played exactly the way the Bulldogs want to play. We were probably lucky we avoided a scoreboard, or we avoided, just with their inaccuracy, maybe a bigger loss. We didn't give up. We fought it out in the last quarter, and the last quarter looked a little bit more like the footy we've been playing, but yeah, this one stung a bit.
He said everything I said in the morning, really. Probably the Crows' worst loss for over a year. Put bluntly, they lost their DNA, didn't they? Smashed it, contested ball and ground ball. And that's their fight and grit. It wasn't there. And he's right. Luckily, the Dogs were inaccurate in front of goal. What did they kick? 19 points. They were plus 100 for disposals. They had 100 more touches than them. Could have been a 100-point loss. It wasn't. Look, they'll regroup. They'll get back. The interesting thing for me is they won hit-out 72, so that's plus 37.
Yeah.
Had 37 more hit-outs, yet lost the game. And they had clearances plus 10 and they won centre square.
Yeah.
That's an ineffectual, is that the word?
It has to be, because
that's ineffectual.
You're getting first touch, you're winning centre clearances by
and you're
8.
giving it back.
You must be giving it back somewhere.
Yeah, we'll speak to Nick Murray about that. That's alarming for me.
Well, can it just be, for me,
a one-off?
Well, it can be a one-off, I think, mentally. And we were actually, I was sitting with a bunch of the state lads and Jade Rawlings and the like, and we were sort of watching the game, but without analysing. Joey Sinall very invested, let me tell you.
God, he loves him, doesn't he? State captain.
It sort of came up that perhaps it's one of those games that you might not have been mentally up for.
Yeah. I know where you're going here. I'm going to ask Tredders this after 5 o'clock and probably start at 4:30. They rested Taylor Walker. BOG the week before, kicks 5. Now, we had VB on. I said, mate, you can't win without Tex. What are you doing? He said, oh, no, we planned all this. Subconsciously, it does. It's flirting with your form.
Well, do you remember when the teams came out, I said to you, can you rest Tex now that
Phil
Thorpe's out?
Yeah.
I didn't think you could.
No, and they did. And look what happened.
Were you surprised at the record that the last 10 games that Tex hasn't played, Crows have only won 2?
There you go.
It says something, doesn't it?
God.
What it says is you've got to fix up the thought of life without Tex.
That's right. And that's coming.
That's where you got to go.
It's
So
closer to the end than the start, isn't it?
yeah, well, let's have a look at what he thinks about selection in the week ahead here.
Tex will come back. Riley's is an interesting one, but we're reasonably confident that he'll be better after a week. He's gone through concussion protocols from here for the week, unfortunately. We seem to be getting 1 or 2 of those a week, but for Hingy, he's in good spirits at the moment, which is the most important thing, but there'll be no risk taken there.
Yeah, and fair enough too. Just almost a concussion a week, like he's saying.
Murray was out.
Yeah.
And then he came in and Duday went out. And now Duday's out and then Hinge is out.
It's unreal. It's like one a week. Not great. Hopefully those boys all recover well. On the weekend, watching the round as we do, I think the big story was the interchange fiasco. It was like it just stunned everybody. And it was 30 seconds after the event happened. I think one bloke came off injured and then another one just followed him because he was the last interchange. And it ended up being, bad luck. They went
75 you're allowed and they went over.
They went over, so they've got to manage that a lot better. But my question is the penalty too great?
Of course it is.
For me...
Of course it is. They got a free kick in the goal square and won the game.
Which, when the event happened, it might have been in the back line, say, and they then get 50. It's a completely different scenario.
But you know the 666, you get a warning. Why can't you get a warning for that? Hang on, you've had too many, off you come.
Certainly not deliberate, is it? They didn't do it by 5, or anything silly like that. Yeah, it cost them 4 points. Correct. I think the penalty is too great, and I think we've got to look at that. So let's have a listen to the audio of the actual umpire on the day.
We get interchange infringement, guys. Interchange. Brownie. Interchange infringement. Brownie. Interchange infringement against North Melbourne. Sydney free kick.
Sydney free kick and 50-metre penalty for an interchange breach. Is that what we're saying? Yep.
So North Melbourne?
No, Sydney free kick. Sydney free kick. Okay, hey, you have to go free kick for an interchange breach, and it's a 50-metre penalty. Okay, let's go with me.
So the third umpire, because they're wide up,
Correct.
Hey, interchange infringement, they've had 76. Who to? There was confusion.
Everywhere.
Now you're right. If Sydney had the ball in their back line, it's a free kick and 50, it's up at centre half back.
Yeah.
They had a shot in the goal square, kick the goal, and they win. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
hey, there's one worse than that. Tom Jonas, rough conduct, got 1 week for it. Now, Jonah won a free kick, did he not?
On the ball.
You can't say it was a great tackle, but it was a great tackle.
Yeah.
It was holding the ball. McDonald plays on, and he's got a week for rough conduct. Careless, medium, high contact. What?
I was totally...
What?
Dumbfounded.
So he gets a free kick. He's going to miss a game.
Yeah.
What?
Holding the
you
ball.
Name another game in the world. Name
Mm.
another game in the world where you can be rewarded on the field, but then off the field you get a game for doing something that was absolutely.
Only
stop it,
Australian
Steve, stop
rules
there.
football could deliver such grey areas as that.
And then some media thought Rankin would get a game. Rankin went in, touched the ball, and his hip hit the other dude's hip. And everyone's going, you're going to go fluid. Shut up, media, about MRO. I think if there should be a rule,
admit, I watched
shut
a
up.
footy show Sunday, and they thought that he would get off because of the way he went in and turned, and that's how you're taught. But
we're talking about a football action that we've done for 150 years.
And that goes back to Jimmy Bartell's theory.
Of course it does.
It's a football action. And that
Change it,
Tom
please.
Jonas is a football action and rewarded with a football free kick.
Yeah.
But have a game off anyway. Wow, unreal.
It is. It is a wow, isn't it?
Unfortunately, our Reds are out, and you know what? I know that they've probably been sitting around 7th or 8th on the table as far as spending goes.
Okay.
They perform way above that
I
every
agree
year.
that.
That's the third semi they've been knocked out of, and here's the coach on that.
Yeah, look, in games like this, it's about when you're on top that you've got to make the most of it. And as I said, we had some great passages tonight and we just couldn't get that goal. If we got the goal, the game is a bit different, but we couldn't get it. But credit to the boys, they kept going. We just have to have a good reflection and come back bigger and stronger next season.
And he was pretty hot on... they were asking him about Craig Goodwin, should he win the overall medal for the comp, and he was like, I'm more concerned that we're probably too reliant on Craig Goodwin. I want this team to be maybe as good with him, but not reliant on him.
And we've got Joe Gauchi.
Yeah, Joe, the big goalkeeper.
Smoking Joe, the goalkeeper.
He's coming on later on the show.
And you got him down the other end. Two good bookends.
Not wrong. So yeah, a bit to do, but I think congratulations on the season. I think the Central Coast were just too good, and that what would you say, the goal aggregate across the 4 games they met was 12-2, Rowie. So I think in the end we have to concede that Central Coast were...
Sorry if I look a bit
team.
preoccupied here on the Foodland live stream, but I went to have a sip and my tea bag shot out like a salmon out of the water and it's landed on my table and it scalded my leg. I've got a touch of the Brad Hardys
I bet you were hoping they would jumping out of the boat like that on the weekend.
Well, they weren't anyway. Sorry about that, Timmy. I was listening to every word you said. I did.
21 minutes after 4. We got lots of calls to get through and lots of chats with our favourites. Graham Corn's in the studio after 4:30. Warren Tredrea's in after 5 o'clock. How many nicknames are you going to give me? Nick Murray on at 5:30. Reds keeper Joe Gauchi on the show
Smoking
tonight.
Joe.
And Matilda Garrett from the Thunderbirds. Tilly, well done. All right. We've got State of Origin tickets tonight.
Hey.
All week long on Drive. If you want to head along next Wednesday to Adelaide Oval, this is going to be a cracker.
That's crept up, hasn't it?
It has.
And it's game 1.
Game 1 of the series.
This is brutal game 1. Oh, boy.
Plus a $100 TJM voucher we're going to give away this week as well. They're opening up this weekend at Nailsworth. 8223 0000 is the number. It's 22 after 4.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show. Join David and Will each week on the 5AA Breakfast Show as they speak to power excitement machine Orazio Fantasia. Orazio! Thanks to Foodland. With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Watching footy with your mates? Brilliant. But heading to the Adelaide Oval and watching the footy in a corporate box with your mates? That's awesome! Buy any Lion beer, including Hans Super Dry, West End, Stone and Wood, or 4X Gold from the Albion Hotel, Birkenhead Tavern, Lighthouse Wharf, the Excelsior, or the Sundowner in Whyalla for a chance to win. You and 3 mates living large in a corporate box at Adelaide Oval. There's 4 packages up for grabs. You just know it's a Barreau Hotel. T's and C's apply.
Hi, Callum Hand here, Ambassador for Pick a Local, Pick SA. South Australian citrus is now in season. Riverland grown mandarins, oranges, limes, lemons, all bursting with flavour and can be found in your local fruit and veg store right now. Or why not try something new this season and grab a Tangelo, Cara or Blood Orange. Support our local growers and shop in stores displaying the red Pick a Local, Pick SA sign. And follow us on Facebook for inspiration, recipes and more ways to enjoy South Australian grown.
At Terrain Tamer, we've tried to take all the hard work out of four-wheel driving, so you can be an expert as well as an enthusiast. Our parts interpreters talk fluent four-wheel drive because we're talking with 50 years experience. We've got all the four-wheel drive parts you'll ever need, so you can toss them in the back for cheap insurance. When you're miles from the closest mechanic, you'll appreciate that advice. Terrain Tamer, we talk fluent four-wheel drive.
From the fields up north
to the oceans west,
we comb the land
for the food that's best.
Great food lives here, Foodland, the mighty South Aussies, yeah.
24 minutes past 4, love your calls. Hey, we all know that ASIC Couriers are a great SA family business. The whole family's involved. They support local communities, the whole lot. But they're a business that, well, they're doing great things for your business. This is what I want to hear. That's right. ASIC Couriers pride themselves on being able to deliver for your business in safe and timely manner. Their drivers undergo intense training, and the ASIC compliance team regularly audit their fleet. And with all the technology, and I'm talking sat-nav, real-time GPS, it allows the ASIC Couriers to collect your job quickly, travel to the most efficient route, and make deliveries on time. And you can do it all on your app. You can say, well, here they are. Oh, hang on. Here they come. Yeah. They're coming up the road. It's amazing how the tech works. It's all in real time, so you can see what they're doing and where they are. So whatever your business needs, deliver it. Don't risk it. Ace it with ASIC Couriers.
Direct from sellout tours across the world, the Simon and Garfunkel story returns to Australia. Featuring all their classic hits, told in a moving and powerful show. Of Her Majesty's Theatre, Wednesday, August 2nd. Don't miss the Simon and Garfunkel story. Book now at Ticketek.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
25 minutes after 4. Rossdale Homes, the custom home 2-story split level specialist. We're going to speak to Graham Corns in a few moments' time. We're taking your calls as well. 8223 0000. $100 TJM voucher to give away tonight. Win a Land Rover and $200 cash. I'd like that. Deadline midnight Friday. Head to homelottery.com.au.
At Airbreak, got traffic lights flashing yellow. That's at the bottom of the freeway near the Crossroad, Glen Osmond Road intersection. Slow going in all directions at the moment. Salisbury's a crash there. Simpson Street near Northbury Avenue. And we're busy in a few spots, including Main North Road at Frost Road, also Cross Road at Fullerton Road. Cameras at Dawes Road, Melrose Park, and Mortimer Street to Karata Park. Did you know Prime Super is Wee Money's #1 for customer experience? Be more than a number at a big fund. Switch to Prime Super. Check the PDS and TMD at primesuper.com.au. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
All right, we'll go to the lines. We've got Nelson. G'day, Nelson.
G'day, Timmy. How are you, guys?
Good, buddy.
Lord.
Excellent. And look, just a quick, I was at the game on Friday night, and obviously, quite excited about how it all panned out, and they pulled four hard quarters of footy, and it was good to see the boys get over the line and get a fantastic win. However, just having a chat to a lot of the people that you sit around with, same sort of people every year, everyone seems to be getting divided at the moment in regards of what's going to happen to Ken Hinkley. So obviously the players are playing for the coach. However, it's sort of bringing a bit of a dividing thing of whether Kenny continues to keep coaching or whether they move on to someone new with new ideas and so on. So I just want to touch base on that and see what you guys think about that.
Yeah, is that amongst the supporter group, Nelson, you're talking?
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, and I sense that and feel that too. It's a topic of discussion every time you speak to somebody. So I think that's where you've got to allow exactly what the club and Ken have said. We're going to let this play out till August. And I think, I can't remember who actually made the comment, but they said, Ken gets to make a call on this too.
Of course he does.
He gets to make the call on this too. So if he's comfortable and happy with leaving it till August, then I think that both parties are, and as supporters, let's just continue to watch and enjoy the way the team's playing. Yeah. Allow that to roll out and let the club handle that, because
it's massive management.
And I always refer back to players play, coaches coach.
Yeah, but this is just
supporters support.
This is just supporters,
and allow the club, the board, to do that decision making. That's what we've got to do. Is now just keep getting behind the team and enjoy what's happening at the moment, because it is a never ever give up type attitude that's getting these wins. And
they've won 7 straight. They're third.
It's a beautiful thing. Just enjoy it and take that perhaps out of the conversation, Nelson.
Yeah, well, it's hard not to, Nelson, because it is absolutely everywhere. Get in behind your coach, because your coach coaches the boys, and the boys have won 7 straight. You're tearing yourselves apart, Nelson.
Cut it out.
Hello, Richard.
How you going, mate?
G'day, mate.
All yours, Richard.
Good, mate. Look, I'm not actually what you call a footy fan and nothing like that. The Power had a good win on the weekend, but at least now and again, some of them do just say the last one they did kick was not a mark. It dropped on the ground. It's been on the radio from Melbourne. Good on them. They got the decision. But look, let's be fair. When you're saying this is what we've done, okay, the last one we won, but it was a decision by the umpire who said give them the kickers a mark, and it wasn't a mark. Everybody on TV seen it wasn't a mark.
Richard, the best team won. I think you're clutching at straws there. Thanks, mate. Hello, Anne at Ingle Farm. She's going back to the Phil Gallagher drop mark.
Hello, Tim.
Hello, Anne.
Hey, Anne.
I'm sick of this talk about Kingsley. Leave him. He's done well. He got us out the poo when we were really bad. How long did it take Sheedy to get a premiership with Essendon years ago?
Yeah, I think he had a couple of stints at the Flag sort of early days. He took a couple of years, then they got 84, 85, won 2 in a row, and then I reckon it took them until 93 to get the next one. So, yeah,
I'm with you, Anne. I'm a Ken fan. I'm with you.
I think we've all just got to let it roll. It's rolling beautifully, so I don't know why we should even be discussing it. Keep rolling.
Yep,
Thank you, man.
Have your
rolling
say.
and winning.
82230000 is our number. Graham Corns is going to join us next after the 4:30 headlines.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon, Kerry Turner with the latest news headlines. There are calls for a red light camera to be installed at the pedestrian crossing outside of Marriotteville High School. A South Australian man has died during a fundraising hike on Mount Everest. We will find out the huge price that a complete set of Penfolds Grange went for at auction. And in sports news, Western Bulldog Jason Johannesson is facing a stint on the injury list. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Got a crash at Oakton to look out for, Sir Ross Smith Boulevard near Blacks Road. Northern Summit crash there too, Colonel Drive near Northern Summit Road, and Adelaide traffic lights flashing yellow due to a truck crash. It's at the bottom of the freeway near the Crossroad Glen Osmond Road intersection. Busy at the moment, Main North Road at Frost Road with cameras Aylers Road, St Mary's and Barrett's Road at Torrance Park. Enjoy no joint fees and memberships from only $7.89 per week at Zap Fitness. Limited time only. Visit zapfitness.com.au. T's and C's apply. Available on select memberships. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
To the 5AA forecast, dropping down to 8 tonight, then a shower or two clearing tomorrow, 17. Right now it is 15 degrees. More news at 5 o'clock and as it happens on 5AA.
5AA Breakfast.
The Australian Federal Police say Russia isn't cooperating as they investigate the Medibank hack. Moscow was briefed on those responsible, but have received little help. I kind of... That's going to be the least surprising thing.
Informing Adelaide.
We sent over 100 Bushmaster vehicles to carry Ukrainian troops to fight them.
Yeah, that was probably a bit annoying.
I don't think we're high up on the let's do these guys a solid list at the moment.
Exactly. After all we've done for them.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
Did you know that ancient Romans considered a large, noisy funeral to be a symbol of wealth? At Simplicity Funerals, we believe a funeral needn't cost the earth to mean the world. It pays to keep things simple. simplicityfunerals.com.au.
Australia is having a conversation about the referendum being held later this year.
So what's it about?
It's about whether we should change the Constitution to recognise the First Peoples of Australia by setting up an Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander voice. The voice will be a permanent body.
And it'd give independent advice to the Parliament and Government on matters that affect First Nations people.
Be ready for the conversation.
Visit voice.gov.au. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Stud is in the building. Lines available too. Hey, a 5AA favourite is Barnesy. Why do we do that?
Because he does it.
Yeah, he does too. He's at Barbecue Adelaide Weber store, Jeps Cross the Mile End. Wants to invite you to his first birthday party. It is this weekend. Barnesy.
Oh, he's won.
Knows you love a party, and he's inviting everyone to the biggest party ever. I've never met a more generous man.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, Weber just smells a party, doesn't it? Yeah,
God.
not wrong.
God,
now, his
God.
Mile End store turns 1 this weekend. Isn't that cute? And he is giving up to 20% discount store-wide across both locations. So it'll be both Mile End and Jeps Cross. So there'll be heaps to eat and drink all weekend, plus lots of giveaways, special guests. And if you make a purchase at either store this weekend, he'll give you 10% off everything you buy for the next 3 months. How good's that?
He does Weber Q chicken wings better than any, and the ribs.
Melt your mouth.
Hey, if you don't like your music loud, bring your earplugs. So get down to the Barbecue Adelaide Weber store, Mile End, Jeps Cross this weekend, and as Barnesy says, prepare to get lit.
Solar Heart has been helping smart Aussies turn sunshine into hot water for 70 years. From our reliable rooftop models to sleek split systems and smart tanks that talk to your solar panels. No one knows more about solar hot water than Solar Heart. And right now, you'll get a $500 trade-in when you upgrade to one of Solar Heart's energy-saving water heaters. So if you want to lower your energy bills and your emissions, get smart. Get Solar Heart. Terms and conditions apply.
Every week, an army of cooks, kitchen hands, foodies and friends arm the Meals on Wheels kitchens.
Okay, team, today it's all about the chicken stir-fry.
Oh, I'm on to the veggies, boss.
Good on you, Reg. I'm on to the pumpkin soup. Love your work, Minnie.
Love to cook?
I'm not Gordon Ramsay, but my cooking's getting better.
You do say so yourself.
Oh, Minnie, I'm not a rock. I've got feeling.
We could do with you. Go to mealsonwheelsa.org.au. Meals on Wheels. Great food, great people.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
25 minutes to 5. Warren Tredrea to join us after 5 o'clock tonight. Nick Murray from the Crows, Joe Gauchi from the Reds, and we've still got those State of Origin tickets to give away before 7 o'clock. But it's time now for Graham Corns, thanks to BL Shipway, South Australian institution looking after SA's hydraulic and pneumatic needs for over 70 years.
Graham Corns, up in the air like a rocket.
Graham Studley Corns.
And like a rocket, he's come into the studio. Graham Corns. I think he's on a mission today, I reckon. He's got a few bees in his bonnet.
Firstly, g'day to Karen, the lady who rang in last week and said that I didn't reply to her letter when she was a little girl. So I rang Karen and we had a good chat.
Oh, lovely.
So she's forgiven me.
Oh, hooray.
I haven't forgiven myself, but she's forgiven me.
But it's good to clear those sins, isn't it?
Thank you, Karen.
Well done.
She was only 10. She raced home from school every day.
Half volley the Australian Post. There's no letter from Graham, love. There's no letter from Graham, love.
That's incredible.
Well done, Stud.
Well done.
Then they said, oh, well, he must have got it. So anyway, but thanks, Karen.
Well done, Stud. Let's talk about the Crows.
Right. Let's talk about the Crows. Now, they can't win without Taylor Walker. So my point of view,
can't be healthy.
No, it's not. But it looks that way.
Well, maybe that's probably not. That's a far-reaching statement. Okay. Maybe not entirely correct but their forward line looks fantastic when he's there. He's the key forward, has been for the last maybe 3 years now.
Yep.
And resting him going into Ballarat it sends the wrong message. Surely it sends the wrong message. And you could see in their approach that they were just off the pace. Look, maybe the fact they have to go to Ballarat. You know my thoughts on the Crows having to play in these obscure, out-of-the-way venues just so some Victorian team can get a few extra $100,000 in sponsorship or thereabouts, so the Crows do the heavy lifting. So it's a negative. It does detract from their performance. And then maybe Taylor's not playing, they're resting him. Did they give the game away before it started? Now, I can't believe a coaching staff would do that.
No. I asked VB that exact question. Was Taylor Walker in support of it? His GPS numbers, he's flat, all this sort of stuff. They've got to buy in 3 weeks' time.
GPS numbers are flat.
I don't like flirting with your form. You never did, Stud. You'd never have rested a player.
Well, you pick your best players.
Of course you do.
Look, if someone's carrying an injury, that's different. Like Chris McDermott played 6 weeks with a broken jaw that we didn't know about, or broken cheekbone we didn't know about. But had we known, we probably wouldn't have played him. So, if players are injured, yes, you rest them. So
the week before he kicked 5 and won 3 Brownlow votes. BOG.
It defies logic that you would do that. Now
it sounded like it was already marked on the calendar.
It was pre-planned, but you've got to change. You can change your attitude.
Of course you can.
Now Darren Burgess is one of the key factors of the reason the Crows are much improved this year. So I'm sure they would have done it in consultation with him.
Yep.
However, it sent the wrong message to the spectators. maybe subconsciously the wrong message to the players, and it looked like it. They were
smashed in every area.
They were poor.
Yep.
They were really poor, and there's no excuse for desperation in your defensive action. There's no excuse for missing tackles.
Yep.
I highlight tonight on the Channel 7 thing. There's Bailey Smith goes in. There's 3 Crows players. He just sort of walks in and picks up the ball and runs away, and they don't lay a finger on him.
No.
So
a lot of 100 more disposals they had. I've never heard that. 100.
So we write this game off. Right?
Okay.
So as a media observer and as fans, we write the game off, and they're still in the 8.
That's exactly
they're still
right.
in the 8.
Exactly.
And you have a chance this week to show that last week was an aberration, and if you bring maximum effort to a very good team in Brisbane, you've got a good chance of winning them. And you have to win them. You have to beat them if you're going to
make the 8.
Well, I think you will win. I think the issue is then making sure you get the maturity to be able to win away. Is that the next step?
Look, there's been times, which year was it that they had to play, they were already on top of the ladder, and they had to play the West Coast in Perth, and I said, you must rest Mark Rasciuto.
Yes.
And they didn't. He got reported.
Yes.
This next game. So there's times when strategically you can do it.
It was around 05, 06, that era.
Maybe it was. But there's times when you can. But there's times when you're fighting for every point that you can get on a ladder, and you are now given your supporters some hope. We are
buoyant
with confidence.
Oh God, I was playing. Can you feel it last week?
Got a few
that's gone
unique home style foods texts on that.
Read that one out, Timmy. There's a good one there.
Oh, Rowe, the Crows are slipping fast out of the 8. You big mouth, can you feel it? Says Dean at Athelstone.
Well, they are slipping, but it's only one game, and who would have thought they'd be after round 10? They'd be in the 8.
Not me.
We didn't think that.
No.
So, and
this is where I say it's just part of the maturity of getting a better team.
And to be honest, who tipped them to win in Ballarat last week? Did anybody?
Not many. I gave them hope because I'm giving them hope now every game they play.
And that's fair.
Let's move on to Port Adelaide. Does the footy world appreciate them? They've won 7 in a row.
I think they appreciate it, but I just wondered if they appreciate how good that win was.
Okay.
Now, maybe the conditions help, but their forward line was virtually non-existent. Scotty Lysett's hasn't played, so
coming as a ruckman,
and they're coming in against. He's coming in against 2 of the best ruckmen in the competition, maybe the strongest rucking division in the competition.
Correct.
And he did a fantastic job. So they won it on guts and endeavour. Their forward line strategy was interesting because Melbourne have 2 of the best intercept defenders in the competition. Maybe Darcy Moore is the best at the moment, but Lever and May are up there. So their strategy against him...
I thought May was best on the first half. I thought he was excellent.
But they still held the ball in there. They still brought the ball to ground often. So the strategy was Burton goes back and Ollie Lord, they're not so much, you mark it when you can, play it, but bring the ball to ground. So and those little guys who, I'm going to say, this would be really insulting to say, but they're not, I was going to say no name, but they're not established players. They're not regular players, those guys at ground level. And they did a fantastic job to hold the ball in there. Ollie Lord played in front, got a couple of...
I'm liking this kid.
Well,
he takes it hard.
If he could just be a bit more consistent with his...
He'll get there.
And that caller that came on before 4:30 saying he dropped the ball, he did not drop that mark. No. He controlled that ball to the ground and he had it in his arms. The ball might have touched the ground as he went to the ground, but...
He's already completed the mark.
He completed the mark. He held the mark, and you can take a number of marks and take the ball to ground and hits the ground, and you still paid the mark. So it was
they're winning the close ones, Graham, and it sort of reminds me a little bit of what Collingwood went through last year, where they were playing this style, they were exciting to watch, and they were winning close ones. And sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it didn't. It turned against them in Sydney in the final and lost one by a point, but Port
they had
having that buoyancy out of those close wins.
5 of the last 7 Port have won by 14 or under.
Yeah, but they had to fight back. I mean, the third quarter, Melbourne
kicked 7, didn't they?
They kicked 7. They were outstanding
in the rain. Oh. And that's another thing. Well done to all those Port fans who sat out in the rain.
It was a terrific
can't think I would have done it.
Can you talk about Port's midfield? I know you're going to do that on 7 tonight.
I can talk about
Where do you rate them?
They were playing Melbourne with Grundy, Gawn, Petrarca, and Oliver and Viney, one of the best midfields in the competition. I think Port Adelaide's now is the best.
Wow.
Well, they're so consistent. Zach Butters,
what a game! He
would be leading I mentioned this last week. That he'd be up there with the Brownlow voting.
He's now equal top in the coaches' votes, and that's a good cider. 51 votes.
So he and Dacos must have to battle it out. I hope I'm not jinxing him. So, but I think Rosie's just as good. I always thought Rosie was the pick of them, but Zach Butters has improved. So you got Butters, you got Rosie, you got Jason Horne-Francis, you got Willem Drew, who plays the defensive role. Ollie Wines, Brownlow medalist, and Travis Pope. Now, tell me about a midfield. They get their confidence up. Defence looks at, maybe that's where they're a bit vulnerable. And do we want to talk about Tom Jonas now or not?
Yeah, why not?
Well, how does he get a game for that?
Go for it.
It's 4:45. Come on, tee off, go hard. Don't hold back.
It may be the worst report and suspension
in the history of the game.
And if it's not, it's top 3.
It's on the podium.
It is top. He has tackled him. He's grabbed him. He's grabbed his jumper high. They've both gone to ground, and he's awarded the free kick for holding the ball. The umpire didn't see anything wrong with it.
No.
And it's just doing my head in.
And he's got a game.
Is it?
Has he accepted it, by the way?
Yes, they have.
Oh my God!
So it was regarded careless.
Yep.
It's a tackle. It's not. He doesn't come in with a swinging arm.
No.
He doesn't come in with his elbow raised. How can it be careless?
And how can you get holding the ball?
Every tackle you make on a football field could be regarded as careless. Medium impact. Well, what does that mean? Medium and high contact. He didn't hit him high. He grabbed his jumper when they fell to the ground.
Free kick was paid for holding the ball.
And the player played on, not injured.
The player shook his head and got up and complained about it.
I'm shaking my head now.
But that's where the game's heading, Studs.
But look,
I've been saying this for years.
But this is this particular case. I can understand what they're trying to do with protecting their head and taking the unsportsmanlike
non-football action.
I can understand that. So that's cited, and he's given 1 match suspension. Jay Viney deliberately intentionally runs into the back of Travis Pope, causes him to go from the bed. He's not looking at the ball. Now that's
done his rib.
That's more than medium. That's
severe impact because he's going to probably miss this week.
He doesn't get looked at.
2 broken ribs
with intent.
He hasn't got broken ribs.
Subbed off. I think he's very sore.
He got it in the pre-season. He's still carrying it.
He's carrying it.
And Port Adelaide aren't challenging this. Now the only reason I can think that they're not challenging is that they don't want to risk. There's a $10,000 hit to their salary cap, isn't there, or their soft cap?
Yeah.
10 grand.
Now that should not stop.
And you're sick of going up there and challenging and getting knocked back. So how many times can you take it?
So does the match review officer have it in for Port Adelaide?
Well, we'll ask that question.
This is why you get the big buck stud. Yes, and so do the umpires. Everyone's got it in for Port. Even Collingwood won't let you wear your black and white, Timmy.
We're going to have a break for BL Shipway. When we come back, we'll ask you all of that. Plus, I want to know if the penalty is too great for breaching the interchange.
13 minutes to 5. If you want to win a Land Rover and $200 cash, the deadline is midnight Friday. Go to homelottery.com.au.
At Oaktown, got a crash to Ross Smith Boulevard near Blacks Road. Northern Summit got a crash there too. Colonel Drive near Northern Summit Road. And Urbray traffic lights flashing yellow due to a truck crash. It's at the bottom of the freeway near the Crossroad at Glen Osmond Road intersection. Busy right now, Main North Road at Frost Road with cameras Barrett's Road, Torrance Park and Bradley Grove at Mitchell Park. It's the online mega sale at Coles. Save on hundreds of great specials in the mega online sale. Visit coles.com.au today. Ends May 30. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowie and Timmy G. Catch the 5AA Fishing Show, presented by Ned McHenry. Now Tuesday nights from 6:30. Thanks to TJM. Four-wheel driving? If you want to get there, you want to be TJM equipped. Nailsworth and Clovelly Park.
Don't just send it, ace it.
I'm with Chris from ASIC Couriers, an SA family business, doing great things for your business.
Thanks, Rowie. Our drivers all undergo intensive training, and the ASIC compliance team regularly audit our fleet. Plus, we use the latest satellite technology to track your deliveries. No matter what it is, we can deliver it safely and on time. Visit asiccouriers.com.au.
Don't just send it, ace it.
We told you they'd go quick. Over 50% of tickets in the Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery have already been sold. Don't miss your chance to win the ultimate $4 million grand prize and live mortgage-free in leafy Melbourne. With over 50% of tickets already gone, you'd better get yours now. Join the fight. To see full details and get your tickets, visit homelottery.com.au. Licence M14364.
There's a time in your life where you just don't want to do a good barbie. You want to become Tong Master. You don't want to be just flipping snags around. You want to be the backyard hospitality director. And to do that, you got to go to Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens. That's where you get the very best kitchens done. Now you can get the best appliances, a bar, fridge, pizza oven. Stun your guests with one of the custom-made concrete bench tops, Rowie.
If we ever build again, I'm getting one of these. Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens.
Already ordered,
I've seen them. They are
good work.
They do indoor concrete bench tops. Their handmade bench tops can really update any kitchen space. Custom made for you. Every piece is unique. I like unique.
Oh,
You're unique.
Oh,
Timmy.
unique.
I'm unique. Stud's unique.
There's
it
only
can be
one.
just yours.
Thank the Lord. For a consultation or a quote, visit the Seaford Meadows showroom. It's on Farrow Circuit. Brilliant. They'll let you come in. They'll show you the boys actually making the concrete bench tops. And the best backyard hospitality directors choose Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens. Go to adelaideoutdoorkitchens.com.au.
Hi, Bronte Manuel from Toop and Toop. Now more than ever, you need an agent who's not just out for a quick sale. You need someone who can stand their ground to ensure you're maximising your home's potential. There's a good reason Toop and Toop is defying market trends and continuing to deliver premium outcomes for its clients. With a history spanning almost 40 years and a team of unrivalled experience, Toop and Toop knows what it takes to maximise your results in any selling conditions. Visit toop.com.au to find out more.
Taking care of your hearing health is so important, and it's that much easier with Audica. If you're a pensioner or a veteran card holder, you may be eligible for government subsidised hearing aids. And if you don't qualify, Audica also offers 0% interest, fee-free and flexible payment plans. For full conditions and to book your free hearing check, visit audica.com.au or call 1-800-HEARING. Free hearing checks are for adults aged 26 years and over. Conditions apply under the Australian Government Hearing Services Program.
Prepare for life with Bupa. Get up to 10 weeks free when you join on eligible products. Plus, we'll waive the 2 and 6 month waiting periods on extras. T's and C's apply. Search Bupa 10 weeks free today.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It's 8 minutes to 5. Graham Corns is here, all thanks to BL Shipway. Treaders to join us after 5 o'clock.
So, Cornsy, what do you want to go with first, mate?
Just quickly, the state game. Well done, Jimmy Rowe. And I
outstanding.
saw Caleb Daniel playing so well for the Western Bulldogs in the midfield. I thought, gee whiz, Jimmy Rowe in Adelaide's midfield wouldn't be astray. But, gee, what an effort. He swallowed his pride. He took his disappointment and played a great game for SA and did that South Australian jumper proud.
He loves that jumper.
It wasn't an easy game to win.
Yeah.
They were a great opponent, but the state team did it well. Just wish it had been at a time when more people could have witnessed it.
We're getting a lot of that, aren't we, Timmy?
I'm
Yeah,
sure
we
they'll
have.
have to look at it next year. There's no doubt about it. So
Get it on a... and part of that is waiting for the fixture to drop.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, getting that right.
The Hawthorn Races saga.
Where are you with this? Did you hear my blue with Kennett?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't hear it. I've got mixed reports. Some sticking it to you, taking it to you for being so rude to Jeff, but others saying, well, he gave back as good as he got. So there's an accusation. One of the solicitors for the aggrieved parties is saying it's an AFL whitewash. The AFL will never whitewash it. what you've got is two different sides, two different stories, and until they can meet and get a chance to defend
Mediate
the allegations.
It's meant to be in Adelaide this week.
Tomorrow.
The mediation.
Now, they apparently the Clarkson, Fagan, and Burt won't appear unless they can confront their accusers, and of course, in doing, because there's always going to be two sides to the story.
Of course, there is.
And the legal parties for the aggrieved people are going to present a negative perspective, but from what I've heard about Chris Fagan's involvement from somebody who is very close to Chris Fagan, and it is such a minimal slight, if I can call it.
Yep.
It did not even involve words. It was more just a gesture, and that's for which he is being castigated, and so
it's awful. It's just awful.
Hopefully. I don't know what the AFL's got on it, but if they're going to exonerate them, they must have a totally different perspective.
It's 8 months.
There must be a totally different perspective to the ABC's report on it.
Yeah, and Clarkson, they haven't even heard Hawthorn's original accusations to that paper. That's why I was going at Jeff Kennett.
I don't know how they could have had Hawthorn investigated it and then sent the investigation straight to the results to the AFL. I don't think they could have done much different though in that regard.
Why big the difference?
There's two sides of the story, and I don't know whether we'll ever know the full facts.
Yeah, let's hope that that gets resolved soon. The North Melbourne interchange fiasco. Now, for you, is that penalty too steep?
It's too severe.
Yeah, it is.
It's far too severe, and it always was too severe anyway. But even if it didn't count for a game, like a free kick and a 50-metre penalty.
Yeah.
And the fact
is, so you on Rowi's side, Rowi's suggesting just to warn you first. Oh, you're one over. And stop it
and
there.
Get him off and stop. Isn't that just sensible?
Yeah, if you break that, well, fair enough.
It was accidental. In
Correct.
It
wasn't deliberate.
It wasn't that they deliberately tried to had 19 men on the field to try and get an advantage. It was an incidental thing. That the penalty was far too severe.
We're over-governed.
It is. But as with all these mistakes, you need to have some drama to maybe rectify it or modify the rules to suit it. But how unfortunate, North Melbourne struggling so hard to get a win.
And there it was.
Come so close to it against a good team.
Yeah.
And they blew it, basically. But hopefully nobody's blamed for it. I mean, it's an innocent mistake. The penalty's too big.
You've been talking to Shippy?
Shippy, I didn't ring Shippy today. I don't know whether he was... But his message last week, they're looking for good people to work there if you want a job.
Yes, that's right.
They're a 70-year long-standing SA family business. They've got lots of long-term employees. They look after employers. You don't necessarily have to be qualified. They can train you. Yeah. So...
what a great business. I love
Shipway, give them a ring. The new premises, I'm allowed to share it. It's 71 Morfett Road, Camden
They
Park.
better have a grand opening like TJM and Barnes.
They're still on Richmond Road, but it will be
massive.
71 Morfett Road, Camden Park. So BL Shipway, a South Australian institution looking after SA's hydraulic and pneumatic needs for over 70 years. Just great people. Shippy's a great guy, and
they're the best.
If you can't get into the huge Richmond Road location at the moment, soon to be Morfett Road, they can send the Ryco 24/7 van out to you for all your hydraulic needs.
Well done,
Shippy. Thank you for having me, boys.
Yes, our pleasure.
Pleasure to have you.
Excellent, Cornsey. It is time to get to the 5 o'clock news. Treaders to join us in here next.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
Ray White, big name in real estate, but also the biggest name in business broking. What makes us big? Our people, like Brett Buckley and his team. MBA, lecturer, and multi-time SA Business Broker of the Year. Brett doesn't just read a P&L, he feels it. If you're selling or expanding your business, Brett can take your business apart and find you more money. And we're not talking small change. Go on, touch base with Brett. Search Ray White Business Sales SA.
The Barossa Valley is a place where things mature well and the locals really appreciate good vintage, which is why it makes sense to make the vine change and call the Barossa home. Barossa Village in Anguston, Tanunda and Nuriotpa gives you the retirement lifestyle you deserve. 1, 2 and 3 bedroom homes are now available in safe, connected communities under an hour from the city. Mature well and let it breathe at Barossa Village. Find out more at barossavillage.org.
We had a 40-foot container, Timmy, arrive. This is at Complete Windscreens,
That's
220 Main North Road, Prospect, with the biggest and best range of what we call smart glass. So that's cameras, rain sensors, heaters and all that sort of stuff. And all due credit to myself, I unloaded that because I have a forklift licence.
Well done, mate.
Proud
of you.
Proud as, mate.
Yeah.
Proud as. So when you have a big range like that, you can deliver the same day at the best price and at the best quality, because we've got it. And our competitors don't, and I'm happy to say that. For 40-odd years, SA's company, and it is, we're SA owned and operated.
Yes.
And I'm part of it. We're SA owned and operated. Yep. And that, as you know, accounts for a lot.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was with the 2 Gowns boys. They were telling me about how they use you.
There you go. Oh, do they?
Oh, yeah.
Did we jack them or?
They said, no, you were the best.
Oh!
And
that's a great testimony.
At the best price, they said, as well as the service. They said everybody was friendly.
Yeah. You do 24
hours.
hours.
Didn't see Stephen once.
I missed one bit out.
Yeah. Oh, boy. See, I was out the back unloading the bloody container, Timmy.
That's right. You're doing all the hard stuff.
So whether it's a crack, a chip, we do all of that, a scratch, a dent, whatever it is, call Complete Windscreens. If you've got insurance, you can pick your repairer of choice.
Correct.
Make sure it's us. Hayden and Lindsay Dean, look, they're legends in the industry for over 40 years. Look, they'll probably serve you and they'll just point out the back that the fat fella's out there on a forklift because, he's a bit, whatever. Hey, Complete Windscreens, CompleteWindscreens.com.au or call us on
8269 4444.
The secret to owning the best house in the street isn't about the house. It's the fence. Cast Stone is an SA company with a bold reputation for premium quality fences designed to enhance your beautiful home. Walk down the streets of Adelaide's best postcodes and you'll see their heritage, traditional or modern stone pillars designed to suit solid walling, tubular steel, cast aluminium, brush fencing or timber slats. You haven't finished it until you've fenced it. View the gallery at caststone.com.au or arrange a consultation.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Down to 8 tonight, a shower or two clearing tomorrow, 17. With the 5 o'clock news, I'm Kerry Turner. The family of a South Australian man who died while hiking Mount Everest say they take great solace knowing he made it to the summit of the world's highest peak. Jason Kennison, who had been living in Perth, was climbing the mountain to raise awareness and funds for Spinal Cord Injuries Australia after having survived a bad crash and needing to learn to walk again. His body is yet to be recovered. The 40-year-old's death is the 10th on Everest this season. Opposition leader Peter Dutton has launched a blistering attack against an Indigenous voice to Parliament. Federal MPs have started debating a bill which would allow a referendum to proceed later this year to change the Constitution. If the referendum is successful, the advisory body would be enshrined in the nation's founding document. But Mr Dutton has told Parliament the voice is divisive.
If the voice is embedded in our Constitution, there will be little to rejoice. For when we sing the second line of our national anthem, for we are one and free, instead of being one, we will be divided in spirit and in law.
Following a crash in March, which left 2 teenagers seriously injured, there is now a push to have a red light camera installed at the pedestrian crossing outside Marriotteville High School. The installation has the support of the local community, who have revealed it is a notorious crossing for drivers running red lights. Shadow Road Safety Minister Vincent Tarzia says the camera would act as a deterrent.
We know that these cameras cost several hundreds of thousands of dollars. We'll await the details of the budget to see if there's an allocation for cameras. If there is, we certainly would be calling for them to be installed here.
The federal opposition says it will support sensible changes to buy now, pay later regulations. Labor wants to cover companies like Afterpay and Zip under existing lending rules. Providers would be forced to carry out more rigorous credit checks to ensure people can actually afford their repayments. Shadow Treasurer Angus Taylor says it's important consumers are protected.
We do support sensible regulation of buy now, pay later to protect consumers. We want to make sure that people struggling with the cost of living don't find themselves building up multiple liabilities across multiple accounts or providers. The devil's obviously in the detail. It's important we get the balance right.
South Australia was punching above its weight in Saturday night's Cross Lotto draw with not one, but 3 Division 1 winners. But so far, only one has come forward to claim their $1.25 million. That is a Salisbury woman who plans to build her own house and upgrade her car with her financial windfall. The other 2 winning entries were bought at news agencies in Mawson Lakes and St Agnes. And Penfolds has set another world record at auction. A complete set of Penfolds Grange went under the hammer over the weekend for $460,000. A businessman has bought the 68 bottles as an investment. Now turning to 5AA Sport, and Port Adelaide will be without Tom Jonas for Sunday's match against Richmond at the MCG. The Power skipper has pleaded guilty to a rough conduct charge for a tackle on Demon Tom McDonald, while Melbourne will appeal Lockie Hunter's 1-game ban for front-on contact with the Power's Connor Rosie. The Crows take on Brisbane at Adelaide Oval in a twilight match on Sunday and should get Tom Doedee, Taylor Walker and Riley Thilthorpe back from the injury list. Western Bulldogs head of sports medicine Chris Bell has confirmed defender Jason Johannesson will be sidelined for between 8 and 10 weeks. Scans have revealed a high-grade hamstring strain.
Being an overstretching, high-speed injury, the MRI confirmed our clinical concerns that he does have extensive hamstring damage. He did damage the other hamstring to a similar effect in 2016. Being the ultimate professional, JJ's already turned his attention to getting back to play, and he's working closely with our rehab team.
And Australian all-rounder Cameron Green has smashed his first IPL century to help the Mumbai Indians secure their spot in the finals. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
G'day there at Oakton. Got a crash to Ross Smith Boulevard near Blacks Road. Northern Summit crash there too. Colonial Drive near Northern Summit Road. And Urbray traffic lights flashing yellow due to a truck crash. It's at the bottom of the freeway near Cross Road at Glen Osmond Road intersection. She's pretty slow going in all directions too. Busy at Main North Road at Frost Road with a camera to look out for West Street at Ascot Park. Receive the free bowel screening test kit. Don't put it off. If you're aged between 50 and 74, take the kit to the bathroom and get to it. It's the free test that could save your life. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
To the 5AA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 8 tonight, a shower or 2 clearing tomorrow, 17. On Wednesday, mostly sunny, a top of 20. And then for Thursday, showers and 17. Right now it is 14 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
An inspirational charity trek ends with an Adelaide man dying on Everest. An innocent driver hurt, hit by a stolen car in Adelaide's west. Details of a crackdown on buy now, pay later schemes. Moves to reduce mortgage switching, but the ways in which you can still cash in. And only on 9, the diet, good for your family and your budget. I'm Brenton Raglas. The full story on 9 News tonight at 6.
AFL collectible coins have arrived at Australia Post, featuring all of your favourite teams. Adelaide, the Swannies, and those other ones too. Head to your local participating post office to buy the coins while stocks last.
Uncross your fingers and your toes. In a climate like this, you can't leave the future of your business to luck. Start to strategise your business growth now with MGK Accountants. Build a business development strategy that grows your profits, scales your business, and gives you time back for important stuff. The sooner we have the tough talks, the sooner you and your business can reap the rewards. Visit mgkaccountants.com.au today for a free initial business development consult.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
7 minutes after 5. You can tune in on the Foodland live stream because coming up this hour, plenty on the way. Nick Murray from the Adelaide Crows. We've got Joe Gauchi from the Reds. Later on, we'll speak to Matilda Garrett from the Adelaide Thunderbirds. And we still have State of Origin tickets to give away. Adelaide Oval next Wednesday. You and 3 mates can head along. Wow. It'll be outstanding game 1 to have one of the great rivalries in our state. But it's time now to welcome Warren Tredrea, all for Wavell Azusa Ute, driven by Australian Motors.
Throws it up long, goal square, Tredrea!
Warren Tredrea.
The Premiership Cup to the captain, Warren Tredrea.
On the 5AA Sport Show.
Yes, Warren Tredrea joins us every Monday and Friday, and thank you very much for coming in, sir. Let's have a look at the weekend that was. Firstly, obviously, Friday night. Was sort of looking, and we heard Graham Corns here, he rated it as well, but are the young midfield of Port Adelaide that's taking over, are they right up there with the best in the comp?
Well, I think for age-wise they are, and numbers-wise they are, and if you look at the coaches' votes, the bloke who was put into the midfield since round 4, Zach Butters, he leads the league, so the answer is clearly yes. And that's been the difference. That's been the dynamic change since round 4, is that Rosie went in last year. Butters, they tried to go in, I think, the year before. Had his syndesmosis foot problem, which really disrupted him.
Couple of bad injuries.
So now you've got two dynamic mids who pressure both ways, who are super quick, whereas the criticism from Port previously was lots of contested ball, a bit more bang it forward as opposed to a bit more method. And now we'll often see that Rosie and Butters are in there with a bullocking type midfielder, whether it's a Drew or it's a Wines or even a Horn Francis who can play both those roles. So they've no doubt moved their midfield forward and they're flourishing off the back of that. And if you look at their wins since round 3, they've won 4 by under 10 points and 1 by under 15 points and had 2 blowouts over 40. So they're not only won it, not the easy ways, the big margins, but they've won the margins that you need to if you want to play finals footy. Because if you lose half of those, you're not sitting equal second on the ladder. You're a fair way behind.
8 and 2 they are. They're saying Butters, Rosie, JHF. I mean, they're developing. Certainly Jason Horn-Francis is. Rosie's arrived and Butters certainly has. Is like a Judd Kerr-Cousins.
Could be.
Like a Voss Lappanacker. They're big statements.
Yeah, and let's look at that, though. Those 3 names you mentioned, the first ones, the Port Adelaide players, Butters, Rosie, Jason Horn-Francis have all at times been best on ground or been that high up the votes where they've influenced the game. I look at the Western Bulldogs game many weeks ago. I think it was a 14-point. But at three-quarter time, Port pinched the last goal, I think, by memory. The Dogs were all over him. They couldn't put him away. And then all of a sudden they put Butters into the centre square. He and Horn-Francis turned that game. I gave Horn-Francis a vote that night just from his last quarter. Because you go, has he been a best player over 4 quarters? No, but his ability in that quarter turned the game for Port. And you look at those players, they're all match winners.
They are.
And you can't consistently say that after the last 3 or 4 years. Because you'd have a Boat dominant or an Ollie Wines in his Brownlow year dominant or a Drew dominant, in the midfield, but you wouldn't have them all at one time. And that's what they've got a weight of numbers that they hadn't had previously.
That combination, Stud's right, outstanding.
And it's done without
losing ruckman.
I was just about to say, lost the hit
But a
outs.
ruckman who was brilliant.
He was. I thought he was lion-hearted, but we lost the hit outs 23-45, but it didn't matter. We won clearances 40-30, stoppages 31-20.
And scored from them.
And that was the other beauty of it. So they've learnt a way to, I think over a few seasons now, to win when you're not winning hit-outs. And that's a real gift because Collingwood have been doing it for a couple of seasons as well.
I like to reverse things. What do you think Simon Goodwin's saying? Mate, we've got the best 2 ruckmen in the game and we still didn't win stoppage.
Yeah.
So that says to me it was a mentality. Don't worry, in the third quarter, Timmy, I think you're a bit nervous.
They were amazing.
Melbourne were amazing.
Yeah.
Melbourne were amazing, but that late goal gave Port Adelaide that little bit of belief to reset at three-quarter time through Butters. He kicked 2 from outside 50, which is not his strength in distance, but he kicked the 2 hard ones and missed the easy one, where he kicked the belly of that snap.
Game.
But I like the fact that Lysette he knew he was going to get bashed. He was almost the sacrificial lamb. He put himself up there and go, I'm going to smash into these blokes and see how long I last. I thought he was enormous because you can sit and isolate the hit-outs, but that also forced one of their guys to play ruck on a leer because they were concerned about him too.
Yeah.
So I also want to highlight Drew. I thought he was massive. 6 tackles in the first 15 or 16 minutes of the game. He was the one.
You gave him
flying the
votes.
flag. Yeah, I gave him 1 vote. And I wanted to give Lysette a vote, but I
Got outvoted by Timmy.
No. I asked Timmy for some his wise counsel, which you do as your old skipper. But the other guy, Ollie Lord, and he had kicked 2 goals. But he played the percentages perfectly. And I don't know how many times I've called a game of footy saying, forwards, get in front. It falls to the front, particularly when it's wet or if you're kicking into a breeze. But sometimes it just doesn't click. This kid knows the fundamentals.
Well, I'll tell you what.
And he's competitive.
Yeah.
So if you know the fundamentals and you're competitive and you work hard, he's got a future.
I'm not dropping him for Marshall this week.
No, I'm not.
I'd be surprised.
Marshall might have to come back
I'd
through
be
the
surprised if he's even
not sure
considered.
he even plays.
No, I don't think he'll be considered.
I think Dixon will come back.
Okay.
But I'm not sure they'd even rush him back at this
It was 2
stage.
in 3 weeks.
Well, then I'm not dropping Dixon for Ollie Lord either.
No, I don't think you would. Yeah,
So you're bringing Dixon back, or you're not?
Well, I look at the last 7 weeks, and it's been a makeshift forward line, really. The first one to go back with DBJ. The pressure that those guys create, those hybrid type forwards,
It takes the pressure off Pau Pepper, doesn't it?
It just does.
Well, I think Charlie comes back in, though.
I think he comes back in, but you go, who's he going to fall out for?
Well, Finlayson's not going to fall out.
No.
I'm not taking Ollie out.
No.
So and you're not going to go in with 3 tools.
And you're not going to play Charlie off an injury break as a ruckman.
He might have to little sit as well. Come back through the sample.
Yeah, I think it'll be a middle fall, and they'll back themselves.
Ken's not doing that.
You don't reckon?
No, he's
All right.
big Charlie man. Big Charlie man. So I reckon he's definitely coming in, and somebody will be unlucky.
Hey, talk me through this stuff around the match review panel. I've sat back over the last couple of days.
Don't ask me.
I just want to talk through it. So Tom Jonas lays tackle of the week, saves the game with a minute on the clock.
Yep.
And at that
Gets it
stage,
free.
Timmy and I were almost... He had to call, and I was nearly having a stroke in the background. Right, tighten right up. 1 match suspension for a tackle. Right? Okay, and maybe that's the potential to do injury, right? Viney barrels Boak... And I thought it was legal, don't get me wrong, but he ran through and he bumped and the bloke couldn't play the game out.
In his back.
Yeah, but couldn't play the game out. Right, so potential to do injury? Well, that is injury. He's off.
Yep.
Right, I'm not trying to rub out Viney here.
No.
But then you've got Viney kicking in danger on Houston. If that is soccer, that's a red card. That's a studs-up red card. But that doesn't even get anything. And if you talk about the potential to do injury out of a bump to someone's back, a tackle hold on the ball, or a kamikaze studs-up tackle like they do in the English Premier League, the last one is the one that does the most damage.
God. And
How could
Jonas
that
isn't
not
playing
even...
this week.
Yeah,
Well, why
and
aren't
why
Port
didn't
contesting
Port,
it?
But why didn't Port contest
Well,
it?
it cost 10 grand. Are they out of money?
No, it doesn't work like that.
There
has been... They have a budget. So if your footy department spend is, I don't know, what is it, 7 million or something, there'd be 500,000 or a figure, 200,000 budgeted. I've had this discussion with Chris Davies in the past.
Yeah, but if you don't spend it, it's money in the tin tank.
Well, it's money in your potential underspend, but they budget. They're not doing it because of, we don't have the money. The money is budgeted for, so that would just suggest that they didn't think they were going to be a chance to get off it. My point was, I would have flown the flag to say, there's nothing wrong with that. Your umpire called it holding the ball. That was my bid on it.
Dangerous tackle hasn't been successfully appealed yet. The MRO
and
at the tribunal all year.
That's where I was.
So they've read the tea leaves.
I don't think it was a dangerous tackle.
Oh, that's just
he
what
beat him under the arm. Yeah. It wasn't over the head.
I think it was the most unique one of everything that's been up this year, and I can't believe that it was penalised because of the free kick that was paid.
Don't worry, his tackle to hurt. I was in pain for McDonald. And I was sitting in the commentary box 150 metres away.
Again, it wasn't what we've seen penalised this year, and I think the AFL... The problem is, I think from a club point of view, you're going... Well, here we go again. We go up there and we get told that bad luck, you're going to cop this weekend. Or here's another one.
Once bitten, twice shy.
A little bit of that.
But how can we see that Isaac Rankin's common sense prevails?
Yeah. Reached down, touched the ball.
Yeah, and got him high,
off. Yeah.
but he played the ball, and that's how you're supposed to attack the footy. And
Turn
you're taught
side
as a kid.
on. Exactly.
But the potential to do injury, it's still high in that case.
Yep.
So I just can't get the hypocrisy in all this.
No.
Just
we've got to do what Jimmy Bartell said. Footy incident, non-footy incident, and you get your ratings from there. Just do it.
A footy incident, isn't it?
Well, no, a punch isn't a footy incident. An elbow to the head's not.
Okay, so
a shirt front's not.
Dacos?
He got a fine.
He'll get a fine for that.
He got a fine for that.
Yeah, has to get
Just
a fine.
came through. Yep.
Punch him fair in the guts.
If you're throwing a punch,
well, he did, didn't he?
You should be suspended.
I saw it. Punch him fair in the guts.
In the light of this modern day, if you throw a punch, you should be suspended.
It was called striking once upon a time.
Because that is intentional. And you're punching someone, and that is not in the rules.
Yeah.
Bumping's in the rules. Tackling's in the rules.
But a punch in the guts isn't as bad as a punch in the head, is it? Or you think they're the same?
But my point is, it's an intentional punch. If we're serious about restricting injury,
but it's just protecting the head.
It could have been open hand.
Oh, that's the problem.
I'll give him the
That's the
benefit of the
problem.
doubt.
It was.
I don't know what we're
That's
doing.
exactly
it was
right.
graded as a low impact,
Yeah.
so that's the
Yeah.
only way he got away with games.
Convenient, isn't it?
And I
Low
think
impact because it was.
Is it convenient?
$3,000 fine.
Because he's going to win the Brownlow.
You're talking the Paddy Cripps theory.
Oh, I don't know, Tim. I'm just
Oh.
thought it's
Well,
convenient.
that's another thing. That's another thing. I don't think it should be best and fairest for the Brownlow now. You've got to take the fairest out because you can get reported like Jonas for the perfect tackle. Now, what if Jonah was in the run to win the Brownlow and he was out for that and it cost him?
And holding
he
the
was going,
ball.
"Oh, hang on. So I got a free kick.
Yeah. I saved the game we won.
I saved the game we won and it's cost me a Brownlow.
I reckon you're right. It's just best player now.
It's just best player. Done.
Best midfielder.
Well,
Take
probably-
out the best player.
Oh,
Forwards and defenders.
wow, here we go, here we go.
Carey and Scarlett, the best two players, or Sauce. Where have they ever got votes?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I tell you
We
what,
can
Jeremy,
tell who
Jeremy-
played centre forward, don't we?
Jeremy Cameron would be up there if
Yeah.
he keeps going like he is.
He just has to push further up the ground, you reckon?
Yeah, probably.
To get it.
Look, we'll have a break, just
Will we?
and when we come back, I just want to ask you about the mid-season draft, and does Port Adelaide participate?
Okay, let's check your traffic. Win a Land Rover and $200 cash. Deadline midnight Friday. Homelottery.com.au.
At Oakton got a crash to Ross Smith Boulevard near Blacks Road. Northern Summit crash there too. Colonial Drive near Northern Summit Road. And Uber traffic lights flashing yellow due to a truck crash. It's at the bottom of the freeway near the Crossroad at Glen Osmond Road intersection. Quite busy at the moment. South Road at Edward Sound with cameras Fullerton Road, Netherby and Goodwood Road at Kernlight Gardens. Hungry? Fill up and warm up with a premium pie from OTR. Grab 2 for just $8. Flaky pastry, chunky fillings. OTR. Making life easy. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G.
The Adelaide Cabaret Festival returns for 2023.
To celebrate, we're giving away a VIP experience for you to get along and check out some of the hottest shows. Plus, you'll also score a night's accommodation at Intercontinental Adelaide.
Watch 7 News Adelaide nightly from 6 p.m. Grab the feature show, then listen to us from 6 a.m. the following morning.
The 2023 Adelaide Cabaret Festival, 9th to the 24th of June at Adelaide Festival Centre. Book your tickets now. Visit adelaidecabaretfestival.com.au.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Local and experienced trade specialists.
Or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
The iconic Murray Princess has returned to the river, with new release cabins available for May, June and July. Join us as the Riverland opens up after the floods. Relax on board the Murray Princess as you explore this incredible landscape with side trips, cultural experiences and see our natural wonders. New cabins are available right now for cruises in May, June and July. Cruise the majestic Murray River in style, but be quick, these will sell out. Book now at murrayprincess.com.au.
Time to find out what's making news in the Channel 7 newsroom as we welcome Rosanna Mangiarelli to the show. And Rosanna, a tragedy at Mount Everest for a South Aussie.
Yeah, it certainly has been, Tim. The 40-year-old died shortly after reaching the summit's peak. Now, he was trekking to raise money for the Spinal Cord Injuries Australia charity, one that actually helped him after he suffered shocking injuries in a car crash. Also on 7 News at 6, fiery scenes and frightening threats as a southern suburbs hoarder tries to block authorities from a forced clean-up. How South Australians are turning to frozen food and canned fruit as the cost of living soars. The sweeping changes on the way to buy now, pay later schemes, how it'll impact the way you shop. We all shop, in fact. Lift off for a crew of private astronauts, how much they paid for a seat to the stars. Plus new age diamonds. I like the sound of this. They look like the real thing at just a tiny fraction of the price. Hope you can join Will and me, 7 News tonight at 6.
Thanks, Rosanna, and all the team at Channel 7. There's only one choice, 7 News tonight at 6.
Need a forklift? Don't just get a forklift, get a Toyota forklift. Toyota is the world's #1 forklift brand with a great range of pallet jacks, walkie stackers and reach forklifts right up to their leading Toyota counterbalance forklifts. Legendary reliability and safety with cleaner, greener electric options. Toyota can tailor the right forklift solution for you. It's all part of the Toyota Forklift Advantage. For more, visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au. Get a Toyota.
Ever paid $30 for a schnitty? You've probably paid garnish tax. All those little alfalfa sprouts, parsley sprigs, the nonsense you push to the side, you're paying for it. Sure, it looks pretty, but there's nothing like a simple, hearty meal the way you know and love without garnish tax. 722 are cooking classics for just $15.90, Monday to Friday lunch. Simple, tasty, $15.90. For a bar and bistro the way it's meant to be, visit 722 Port Road, Beverley.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
23 minutes after 5, Warren Tredrea here, thanks to Wayville Isuzu Ute. Very shortly, Nick Murray from the Crows.
Yes, Warren Tredrea with us every Monday and Friday.
You want to read that text or I'll ask my
I
question?
can read it. Yeah, g'day, Tim. The worry for me about moving Ken on is how many players who have stayed play for him, and will they leave the club when he goes? And who will retire when Ken moves on? I hope the club is talking to him already. He has the players playing for him. The game plan is different and it's working. The loud minority who wanted him gone are still critical even after the winning streak.
It's good text, that one. I'm going to ask this question, Treaders. Port have had 7 wins in a row. They sit third. They beat a premiership team or a favoured premiership team. Their last 7 weeks have been outstanding. Is it time to sign Ken?
You want asking me?
Yeah.
I think he's setting you up, mate.
I think he is.
What do you
so
mean?
that's all right.
Is it time to sign
the
Ken?
club said August. Ken said August. What no journo has asked, actually, it's all great if Port wanted to sign him. Takes 2 to tango. Does Ken want to coach?
Well, next time we get Ken on, I'll ask him.
Has anyone asked him that? Because I saw a story, Mark Robinson saying it, sign him. I know Kane Corns has said in the last 24 hours, sign him. I think it's in the paper today. Scott Lucas, who's a player manager and does a bit of commentary, has said sign him. But does he
before
want to
another
sign?
club grabs him?
Yeah, because I also got a phone call last week, and someone was asking me that question, and I said, to be honest, I'm not close enough. I don't know about the situation. And the person said to me, because there's word out of the Gold Coast, and Stuart Dew's contracted, and this is the bit that's difficult. He's got
Premiership
1 year,
teammate of yours.
1 year left on a contract. But the names I got told were C. Scott, Hardwick, and potentially Hinkley. If one, those guys chose to leave their club or not re-sign with their club, would they entertain an offer to go up there? And then it's a hypothetical, but that's the question that I got asked, and I said, hey, not sure, but I know Carolyn Wilson has said similar in the last week. The names keep coming up because the other bit too is whether the AFL are pretty much making the decision the Gold Coast, aren't they? A lot of the
they hold the
decisions,
purse strings.
So what do they need it to be? Wash its own back for quite some time before Tassie comes in. So there's now a more element of desperation in that. Does that mean that those coaches are going to fix it, or Dewey's good? But I don't know. But as soon as the media start talking about your job, and the big name media in Melbourne, it puts you under massive pressure.
Okay, so would you sign Ken?
Right now, they said, no, I'll be looking at end of the year, or August.
Well, haven't they said August, Timmy?
They've said August.
But,
that's
the
the
club
end
and Ken did that prior to the season
That's
beginning.
the end of the minor round. Yeah. But they're going to have to make a decision. But the big question to ask is, and Ken is speaking the same language as Port, but does he want to coach here?
He'll
That's
make
the
his
question.
call. I've said that all along, and good on him, Ken. I hope you win a flag, and he stands up there and he says, "Stick it up, you jumper, Alan Scott style."
Well,
you members were wrong. Oh, God, I'd love that.
You got that because you saw Choco on Friday, isn't it?
I did. I love Choco.
Yeah.
You were wrong.
Yeah, here's
you Port supporters tearing us apart.
And
You
then
were wrong.
have to go off to the Mount Gambier community camp and go and visit him in hospital and apologise.
Oh, did you?
Unique Homestyle Foods text line, this one. Give it a rest, Rowie. The coaching job at Port is not an issue amongst my large group of power mates. We have absolute faith in the club and Ken to make the right decision at the right time. Seems to me you would like it to be a problem, but I'm telling you there isn't any
it's got
amongst the
nothing
majority
to do
of
with
real
me.
fans.
No, but
and that's
got
Brian
nothing
of,
to do with
Brian
me.
of Norwood.
I think by the club putting it in its
Nothing
case,
to do with
right,
me.
in August,
Yep.
they're not going to be pushed either way to revisit this too early or too late.
Okay. Who's feeling the most heat as coach at the moment? Carlton's Michael Voss has lost the last 3 and 4 of the last 5. I think the natives there are restless. This is the supporters.
They're restless, I think.
Is it West Coast Adam Simpson? Hawthorn thumped them by 116
That was
points.
bottom
It's a
versus
sad
second
situation, that one.
They're bottom of the ladder. Or Ken Hinkley has won 7 straight and beat Melbourne and sit second on the
Oh,
ladder.
that's cheap.
Who?
Who's under the most pressure?
I think
Who's under the most pressure?
I think the richest club in the land.
West Coast.
I go back to Brian from Nord. He's onto you.
And he's a premiership coach.
Jeez, he is.
But they face a situation where they've barely got enough players to play, and an injury list as long as your arm.
Sorry, mate. We're up against 5:30 headlines.
Sorry about that.
I do want.
No, you wound me up. I'll go.
No, just a quick one.
Well,
Mid-season draft. Does Port participate in it? Do they need something now that they can get out of a mid-season draft, or do they let it go?
Wow. Do they need ruck support?
I think they do.
They've got Hayes in the twos.
So long as, and I'm with you, we've got.
Do they need some defensive?
6 guys over 200 centimetres playing in it.
That's the thing.
Sample.
Probably not, but are they ready? Not many.
No.
Cleary's playing, so
Young.
that's your defensive cover.
Yep.
Forwards, they're a bit thin. Are you going to pluck a forward out of the pre-season draft, a mid-season draft? No. I think if you think you need ruck support, you look at it.
Yes. So
but that was just pillage a local league.
So next time we talk,
yes,
mid-season draft, or should it be a mid-season trade?
No, it has to be a mid-season trade.
There you
We'll
go.
see.
Don't worry.
Next week.
We just did it now.
Well done. Do some homework.
Have a week off.
Oh boy. See you Friday.
Wave
I've got a week off.
Driven by Australian Motors. Next day service is now available as well. 29 minutes after 5, we're going to speak to Nick Murray from Adelaide next.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowie and Timmy G. 5AA Breakfast.
60 Minutes. They've let the print journos wreck that show.
Oh,
Seriously?
really?
Well, they don't understand television. But last night we had chapter 368 of the China is Evil story.
Informing Adelaide.
Well, we all know China's evil. You don't need 3 different segments to make that point. Give us some variety, 9. Bring back Ian Leslie. And Yana.
They listen closely, so I'm sure something will come of that.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
I'm here at Cherry Glen Osmond to take a test drive of the car that everyone is raving about, the Cherry Emotor 5. Oh, these seats are so comfortable, and the state-of-the-art tech is worthy of a car 3 times its price. And almost every function of the vehicle can be controlled by voice. Jerry, it's a bit cold.
Got it. Increasing the temperature in all areas to 22.0 degrees.
Book yourself a test drive of this incredible Emotor 5 from 33k drive away. Visit gocherry.com.au.
This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Good afternoon. Kerry Turner with the latest news headlines. Federal MPs have started debating a landmark bill which would allow the voice referendum to proceed. Police are investigating an early morning home invasion at Hillbank where a car was stolen. There has been a successful SpaceX launch from the Kennedy Space Centre today. And in sport, Collingwood's Nick Dacos has escaped with a fine for striking. Now checking 5AA traffic.
At Oakton, got a crash to Ross Smith Boulevard near Blacks Road. Northern Summit got a crash there too. Colonial Drive near Northern Summit Road. Busy in a few spots, including Portrush Road at Fowlers Road, also Days Road at South Road. And look out for cameras on the drive home. Goodwood Road, Kernelite Gardens and Mortimer Streets at Karata Park. At Bradford Homes, luxury is attainable, backed by award-winning Scott Salisbury, offering flexible and custom designs. Discover more at a Bradford Homes display or by private appointment. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA forecast down to 8 tonight and then a shower or two clearing tomorrow 17. Right now it is 13 degrees. More news at 6 and as it happens on 5AA.
Whether a hobby or a full-blown dairy and livestock farm, they all have one thing in common. The need for good quality steel to keep livestock safe and secure. At Knorr Metals, we have just that. From rural fencing and gates to droppers, loading ramps and more, you'll find what you need for your farm. And if we don't, we'll source it for you quickly and at the best price. No matter what kind of farm you have, we'll help you out. At Knorr Metals, 255 Grand Junction Road, Ottaway.
As my parents have grown older, driving has become more challenging. Intersections feel busier, driving in peak hour traffic and travelling longer distances is stressful, and driving at night or in bad weather is risky. Even small mistakes can be costly. Look for the signs. If you notice driving is getting harder for loved ones, talk about the alternatives. Help them make a plan to stop driving on their terms. Don't let your parents stop driving by accident. Think road safety, a message from the Government of South Australia.
5:32, Nick Murray from the Crows shortly, and your calls. A lot of poor people wanting to have this say. We'll get to you before 6 o'clock. PL Shipway is an SA institution. They've been looking after SA's hydraulic and pneumatic needs for over 70 years. Anyone that can stay in business for that long He's legendary.
Phenomenal.
70 years.
Phenomenal.
Shippy. Hey, they work with the best suppliers in the industry. Ryco, Bosch, Rexroth, Enerpac, Hydac, Orpath, Easy Fit, and much more. Plenty of stock too at their 217 Richmond Road. They've got a team of experts. They're brilliant. Get in store, jump on the blower, have a goosey gander. They're always willing to help.
Oh, they're outstanding.
Because they're moving.
Well, we know that, but they're still
Stokes
there
told us.
at Richmond Road at the moment.
And Shippy, I hope that's a grand opening.
You're such a loser.
Yeah. You having a
was
go at
not
us, mate?
towards you.
In the middle
I
of
hope
a
it's a
live
grand
reading.
opening. No, you're such a
Goodness
loser.
me.
Where did that come from? Remember, Beale Shipway state-of-the-art workshop. They'll take care of it. They got Ryco 247 mobile hose repair vans. They'll send it your way. So do this, please. Support a great SA company. If anything, bus, anything to do with hydraulics.
Anything.
One name, here it is. BL Shipway is the place to go. It's 217 Richmond Road, or Google this, blshipway.com.au.
You're such a loser.
Over 340,000 school kids will be bullied this year and won't tell anyone. Help break the silence around bullying. Donate to Dolly's Dream at doitfordollyday.org.au.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
It is 26 minutes to 6. Joe Gauchi from the Reds coming up after 6 o'clock, and we still have those State of Origin tickets to give away. Stay tuned. Game 1 next Wednesday.
Ooh.
We have tickets for you and 3 mates. Get your Mitsubishi service by the award-winning service department at Agostino Mitsubishi and ask about a free loan car.
They're brilliant, Aggos. Crows lost to Bulldogs by 45 points. It was a tough day at Ballarat. Tough as tough. Joining us, one of their
Tough
key
venue.
defenders, Nick Murray. Muzz, welcome.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
They were just too good on the day, weren't they?
Yeah, I just think, looking back, we had obviously reviewed today around the contest and stuff. They sort of taught us a lesson in a way, and we were able to use the middle of the ground, and they have some good half-backs that, were able to hit the last line. So, disappointing for us, but, we'll be back this week for sure.
Good. Contested ball, ground ball, you're number one or pretty close to it. What happened there? You just got that horribly wrong.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It was just, as a backman, it just looked like they held nice shape around the contest, were able to flick it around and then sort of got that exit handball or exit kick and then were able to go forwards off that. So, it's definitely, a one-off, it hasn't been a trend because we've been trending in the right way all season. So, definitely a one-off.
And Nick, congratulations on your own game. I thought you held up pretty well, mate, in the back line. Admittedly, it was coming in a fair bit. You probably don't want that. But how difficult were those conditions? I was watching the game in the background of an event I was at, and I could just see the ball swinging, considerable meterage to the left.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's probably a good day for a backman in a way, isn't it? But it was sort of, as on the way in, it was raining, and then when we got onto the ground, it was sunny. So, it was sort of mixed weather, but the wind sort of didn't help. It was favouring one end for sure.
And they reckon you missed Big Tex. Was he the difference? Because that's what he's saying apparently.
Oh, so he's saying. He obviously would have helped. I'm not sure if he would be the big difference. 45 points, and especially where we were beaten most of the day. Was around that mid stoppage. So. We'll be welcoming him back this week for sure.
Beautiful.
Did it have any psychological impact on the team? And I don't know how you gauge that or talk about that, Muzz, but, he was the best player the week before. They scheduled him to have a bye, and you sit back and go, oh, God. I mean, he's your best forward.
Yeah, I mean, the boys that come up, like Lockie Glenn, he's been having some, unbelievable form, the sample. So, I guess you don't, but... his leadership and stuff, you probably do miss a bit, but, he's getting a bit older now and we want him fresh for, 23 weeks. So that does mean that he has to miss, then, he'll be fit and firing this week.
You've had a cracker season, Muzz. You'd be wrapped with your form to date, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it's been good. As I've sort of spoken about this, but my defensive side I always thought was there. It's just now I've sort of been able to add, a little bit of offense and just composure and just awareness of the game as you do with you playing more games. So it has been pleasing. Hopefully I can just keep trending in the right direction and keep improving every week. But it's been good. Obviously it helps when, you're winning games and the younger guys you've played with are playing a lot better as well. It makes it a lot more enjoyable, that's for sure.
Yeah, that back six has had some continuity until you got knocked out, and then Duday got knocked out, and then you went and knocked out Hingy. You landed on him, Nick.
Oh, no.
No, I have actually knocked out Sutsy and Will Hamill, but I'm not taking Hingy, so I can't knock three out. I won't have it. The boys were rounding me up today, but no way.
Well, he did hit the hip of his opponent, but God, you landed on him, left, right and centre. You just got to watch your attack on the ball, Nick. You're a dangerous beast down there.
Yeah, I am. No, when he was down, I was trying to help him up, but the eyes in the back of his head, and I was like, oh, God, this isn't good.
Oh, what a bummer. Hey, mate, what are they probably the best, what would you say, scrapping team you've played against?
They're definitely, like, their midfielders, as you can tell, they're quite elite. And I think, we got a bit of a lesson in contest shape and that. So I think, that's where we'll smash. Scrapping, I'm not sure, because they did, look pretty clean, but they were able to, drive their legs and burst out of tackles and stuff and, made us look pretty poor. So, I guess in that regard, they were pretty good.
So you got Lions Sunday twilight. What a great game to bounce back against.
Yeah, definitely. No, we'll take a lot of confidence coming in there. Obviously, AO, we love playing there. So, give ourselves a red-hot chance.
AO, what's AO?
Adelaide Oval.
Oh, jeez.
Adelaide Oval.
Oh, come on, Muzz. Don't go talking code. Hey, Unique Homestyle Foods text. Robbie and Timmy, can you ask Muzz if he's going to do anything to the pasture on his sheep block? ? That's Tim on the tractor, in brackets neighbour. Thanks.
Nothing as of yet. Probably spread a bit of fertiliser over it this week, actually. Hopefully then get some rain on it. A couple of months' time, they'll be looking absolutely elite. A few ewes and lambs on there. Lambs are supposed to start lambing this week, so she'll be a cracker.
You and Neddy, what an interesting combination, Muzz. You and Neddy, old Ned McHenry, the old bloody squid lips.
Yeah, it is a bit of an interesting combo. We both love farming, which is very good. I wish I had a bigger passion for fishing, but maybe it's a bit of time for a bit of alone time, because we do live together, do farm together, so it is good for me to have my time. As you would know, he's very full of it.
You don't have sea legs and you can't grow them. You either got them or you don't, Nick.
Exactly. No, I'm an inland river boy. So
okay. Now you do know that he's got his own fishing show here on 5AA. Ned, has he ever told you that, Nick?
He's always getting me every Tuesday night to play it so I get more streams or whatever it is. So I can't say I've listened to too much.
Well, mate, thanks for your time. I hope you boys bounce back. We're loving the growth of the team and certainly the growth of you and that back six. It's been fantastic. Muzz, thanks for your time. Well done.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
Well done. Nick Murray there, Adelaide Crows. He's had a cracking year.
Oh, yeah. He has absolutely taken to it.
Was he a mid-year draft or a sub-draft? What was he?
I think it was an end-of-season draft.
He came 1 out, 9 back.
Yeah, but
what a great pickup.
Great lad. Very well.
You can get your Mitsubishi service by the award-winning service department at Agostino Mitsubishi. Enjoy coffee while you wait, or book ahead for a free car loan, a free loan car rather. That's probably a bit different to a car loan. And then arrange your service today. Go there to Agostino Mitsubishi.
Hello, Dougie.
Yeah, good day, guys. Disappointed Crow supporter. I was just looking through the games that we've played so far, and it appears average score when we lose is pretty low. It's down around 50 points. There's been a couple of bigger ones, like GWS, we kicked 90, but and I'm just concerned that there might be a template to shutting down the Crows' attack, especially from defence. On the weekend, the amount of time the Crows just kicked the ball 50 metres down the line to a contest because they had no free options, this concerned me a little bit, because Bulldogs just went like 1, 2, 3 consecutive uncontested possessions when they're doing D50, F50 transition.
They took away the Crows' strengths, Doug. They scouted them well on the back of them smoking St Kilda. And Scotty Campriali is our special comments. I love how he sees the game and he talks about it on air. He said the way to beat the Crows is to win the ball first, because they're a very good contested team. You've got to win the ground ball. You've got to keep your shape around the stoppage, and you've got to score from turnover. And if you can do that, the Crows, you'll hurt them. And then when they've got the ball, you've got to deny them the corridor and that fast exit. That's what the Bulldogs did.
They did. They made them go down the line.
Every team will say there's a template. There's a template to beat Port, Melbourne, everyone. The thing is to execute it for 4 quarters and 120 minutes. And the Bulldogs were just outstanding, Doug. So we had a lot of text on the Unique Homestyle Foods text line. Why don't you give Bulldogs the credit? Well, if you heard our call, we were giving Bulldogs a lot of credit.
They were very good. Let's go to Con. G'day, Con.
Hi, Tim. How you going, mate?
Good, mate.
And Stephen. Just a bit of perspective for the exit in the semi-final from the A-League. I still think it was a good season.
Yes.
Clough and Irukunda hit the post in that game in Gosford in New South Wales. They hit it and it went in. We had a 55% increase in crowds this season at Hindmarsh, which was fantastic. We've got a future Socceroo keeper in Gauchi.
Yep.
We've got Goodwin, the World Cup star. He's absolutely great this season. And we've got this exciting kid, Nesri Irukunda. So I think the glass is half full, don't you, Stephen?
Oh, Con, great call. Look, it is. All those things and all those measures is great. Timmy brought up the biggest one. For spent money to wins,
we sit around 7th, 8th.
There you go.
And that, to me...
So our new owners need to invest if they want to go that one step further.
Well, I think it's not so much new owners. It's sort of... There's a new chairman, but they're the same owners. They've just now come forward and said who they are.
Well, get their hands into those big, long pockets and give Carl Viet the tools he needs to go top.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask Con what he thought of Central Coast because...
They were outstanding.
Con, I was just going to ask you, just over the 4 games I saw this year, Central Coast just seemed to have... I thought they were a superior team, and 12-2 aggregate against would say that they were definitely the better team.
Yes, I'll get to that. But first, Timmy, I was so disappointed in the Sunday Mail and the Monday Advertiser. 2 weekends in a row. The games finished at 9 p.m, one in Hindmarsh and one in Gosford. Nothing in the Sunday Mail the next day, no photo, no match report, no result. Monday, get this, guys, no photo, no match report, not even in the digest for the result. It's so disappointing.
It is. There's no staff down there. You go down there, you can...
They must have different print.
There's tumbleweeds down there at the Advertiser.
Was disappointed on Sunday with that.
I was too. Hey, Con, I'm going to give you a $100 TJM voucher. They got their launch on Saturday. You'll love this. They got swag, snorkels.
Beautiful.
They got blooming tow bars, bull
Good
bars,
idea.
racks. You'll love that, Con. Thanks
Well
for your
done, Con.
call.
Good
and
positive call.
Keep supporting the Reds because we love them.
Yeah.
Hello,
excellent.
Fearless Phil.
How you going, boys?
Excellent.
Hey, Stephen, this mid-season draft that you really dislike, and I'm a Crows man, what would you think if the Power selected your son?
Look, Phil, I hate the mid-season draft. That's just me. My son is different to me. His dream is to play AFL as much as he can and all that sort of stuff. I haven't spoken to him, and I probably won't. But here's the thing. I can't see him leaving the Eagles mid-year when he's just committed to them for a year.
Yeah.
I just can't. I just can't, Phil. And I'd like to think most SANFL players will be the same.
Well,
but that's just me.
Some,
he might prove me wrong. But
some will put their hand up, no doubt.
Stephen, imagine if the Gold Coast recruited him.
Look, Phil, he runs his own race, and he will, and he does. I'm proud of what he's done, getting kick in the guts and coming back and not complaining and doing what he did.
He certainly showed that he's above level, that's for sure. On the weekend, he showed he was class above.
But you know what? As a dad, I'd hate to see him.
Yeah, I'd hate
to see him leave.
It's got to be up to him, and he's got to really want
That's
it.
exactly right. Yeah, and I think he does. We'll wait and see. Hey, Prashant, how are you?
Hey, good, thanks, Jimmy. How are you?
Good, Prashant.
Yeah, first of all, congrats on Jimmy's achievement on the weekend.
Yeah, it was excellent.
Well done.
Yeah. What I thought was, I think you had to put the lid on the Crows a little bit.
Who, me?
Yeah, you're getting a bit too enthusiastic.
Oh, no. Is this you, Prashant, from Ingle Farm, telling me to put a lid on it?
Yes. I'm a Crows man, but I'm telling you that because...
Okay, done.
It is like... you remember Warren Tredrea was on the show today?
Yes.
When he took the salute on Adelaide Oval against
he did the bow.
North Melbourne?
Yep, he did, yep.
Yeah, I think that's. I'm drawing parallels between your enthusiasm for Crows.
Oh no, Prashant, don't do that. You've done a likeness to Tredrea's bowing.
Yeah, that one hurt. Came back to bite, didn't it?
That one.
Because they're not there yet. I think they'll win a few games. They may make the 8, but they're not there yet. I think.
So Prashant, you're saying on behalf of all Crows supporters, on behalf of everyone, including our Brecky team, David and Will, I'm not to play this again.
Oh, seriously?
Yes.
That's the one?
That has to be shelved, I think, for the rest of the year.
Prashant,
You're a very wise man, Prashant.
What if Port win their 8th in a row and I play it for them next week?
No, you're not playing it. We don't want it.
Now, Prashant, if he gives me the all clear, I will. Prashant, can I play it for Port's 8 in a row?
Yeah, I think Port are there. Port are a genuine premiership chance, so you can take it.
You don't play it because it's just
Apparently
it's the commentator's curse type thing, isn't it?
God.
The minute you say it,
Prashant, I love you. You know that, and I will listen to you. Done. It's done. I won't play it.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you. So
glad we cleared that up.
So my family tell me not to play it. Jimmy says not to play it.
I told you not to play it.
David Pemberthy tells me not to play it. Will tells me not to play it. Management tells me not to play it. Everyone in Sundry's telling me not to play it. But now that Prashant's told me, that's it.
That's it. Full stop. Win a Land Rover and $200 cash. Go to homelottery.com.au. Deadline is midnight Friday.
Got a crash at Oakton to look out from the drive home. Sir Ross Smith Boulevard near Blacks Road. Norton Summit, another collision there. Colonial Drive near Norton Summit Road. And busy at the moment, Regency Road at Days Road. Roadworks at Anglevale, look out for Anglevale Road near Broster Road. Speeds at 40 with a camera. Price Street at Melrose Park. The BMW Expo event is on now. Experience exceptional offers across selected BMW X5 run-out models. T's and C's apply. Offer ends June 30. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sport Show. What makes an iconic South Australian business? It's a special combination showcased in 5AA's Best of SA.
Maxima is an SA success story. Over 35 years, Maxima has grown to support communities with 70 locations across Australia. Every day, Maxima works towards a better Australia by helping people into meaningful employment. Maxima supports both job seekers and employers across an extensive range of services, including recruitment, apprenticeships, training and NDIS support.
The Best of SA, thanks to major sponsor Maxima and Adelaide's 5AA.
Don't just send it, ace it.
It's not just your deliveries that ASA Couriers look after. They're also proud supporters of the community. Chris, tell us more.
That's right, Rowie. At ASIC Couriers, we're proud supporters of over 16 sporting clubs. We also work with and support the Breakthrough Mental Health Research Foundation to strive for a happy and positive workplace. By supporting us, you're also supporting the community.
Don't just send it, ace it.
A shock absorber, CV joint, or maybe a bearing kit. It may seem like just a four-wheel-drive part, but open it up and you'll find so much more. Each Terrain Tamer four-wheel-drive part is the culmination of 50 years of experience. Every break, every lesson, every setback far from home strengthens everything we do. So when you break down miles from home and you drag out our number, you'll know you're in safe hands. That's the Terrain Tamer connection, and it comes free with every part.
Well, it's never too hard to imagine having the perfect bathroom at home. Now,
But what does it cost?
Well, that's the big question. I'll tell you what, by Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, you know what they do? They sit you down and they go, rightio, what's your budget?
Rowie and Jody, come here.
Sit down, tell us how much you got, and we'll tell you what you get.
Come out to our beautiful showroom.
Beautiful showroom out there, Glen Osmond Road. But what they don't do is sacrifice any of the high standards that they always set. In fact, David Cox and the incredible team at By Urban can show you how to do a lot with a lot less. Now, they plan every detail, and it means you'll know exactly how much it'll cost and what the outcome will be. So no nasty surprises or crocodiles in the curtains, as you say.
No crocodiles and curtains with By Urban Bathrooms
I
and
tell
Kitchens.
you what, your bathroom is without doubt one of the most important rooms in your home, and it's an investment as well. So get it right. It'll add incredible value to your home. So get it wrong, you're going to look at that forever. Now, for bathrooms, visit byurban.com.au, Adelaide's home renovation experts.
Hi, Callum Hand here, Ambassador for Pick a Local, Pick SA. South Australian citrus is now in season. Riverland grown mandarins, oranges, limes, lemons, all bursting with flavour and can be found in your local fruit and veg store right now. Or why not try something new this season and grab a Tangelo, Cara or blood orange. Support our local growers and shop in stores displaying the red Pick a Local, Pick SA sign. And follow us on Facebook for inspiration, recipes and more ways to enjoy South Australian grown.
You can always expect the very best from designer appliances at Adelaide Appliance Gallery, which means right now when you come in store and mention this ad, you'll get half-price installs on dishwashers, washing machines and dryers. Plus, you'll receive a 6-month supply of premium cleaning products by Power of 4. Now till the end of June, just mention this ad. T's and C's apply. Head to the home of Mr. Dishwasher and discover designer appliances at Adelaide Appliance Gallery, Paynham Road, St Peters.
This year, Australia has a chance to give Indigenous Australians a real say in their future. Join us. Visit yes23.com.au.
Authorised by Dean Park and Australians for Indigenous Constitutional Recognition Limited, Sydney.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
7 minutes to 6. Joe Gauchi coming up very shortly from the Reds, and we'll catch up with the Thunderbirds. Matilda Garrett. They are top of the table, but they did lose on the weekend. We have State of Origin tickets to give away, and we might as well give them away now.
Let's do it.
8223 0055. You and 3 mates can get to Adelaide Oval next Wednesday. If you want to get tickets, you can go to nrl.com/tickets, or we've got them all week long here on Drive, so get on the line now.
What do we do from?
So you just got to call.
Just got to call.
You what, 4th caller, 10th, 8th, or just call?
No questions?
Call through. Blake's going to do his best out there.
No questions.
To pick the first winner.
Oh,
no 7 questions or anything?
There's no talent in that. No, we're not doing Timmy 7.
No, we're not this week.
Robbie's Fast 1 went really
How
well.
did it go?
Oh,
yeah, I got to go back and listen to that.
Gifted.
Yeah.
You might have to just,
get back on it.
Let's go to Leith at Happy Valley. Leith.
I'm hoping I'm Blake's call, but I drove over to Ballarat for the weekend to catch up with my son who lives in Melbourne.
Okay.
I know Cornsey canned Mars Stadium, and I understand that it's a bit cruel that Adelaide have to go there, but there's nothing wrong with that stadium.
Oh, it's a beautiful deck, isn't it, Leith?
It's a better ground than Nord and Mount Barker, which we made interstate sides play on in the Gabba round.
Okay.
We were just off all day, and
But I think it's the fly there, then an hour bus ride. It's the ground and the facilities, no question. It's freezing, it's raining, it's wet, it's always wet. It's not a spectacle, and it's a bloody hell of a joint to get to, Leith.
Well, yeah, and don't try and have a wee in Ararat when it's 4 o'clock, when it's 4 degrees, because it's very hard on the way back home.
Oh, jeez, Leith. Well, keep it above the belly button, please. I get told off for those comments. A little bit of steam there.
Wow.
Thanks, Leith. Hello, Mark at Semaphore. Wow, there was too much information.
Hey, boys. Bit of kudos to both of you. Timmy, well done. Taking those sand grabbers and kicking them back to Western Australia. That was awesome.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't say I did a lot, but I enjoyed watching it.
Well done.
Hey, I listened to it. I'm here on the blow-in, but I'm loving Adelaide at the moment.
Good man.
Hey, I've got a couple for you, Rowie.
Oh, Mark. Oh, you're the Victorian that's here that's got stuck here.
I'm stuck here with the girls, but I'm chauffeuring them around the Barossa somewhere next week.
Okay.
But,
Go to Rusden.
mate, well done on your son. Best on ground, wasn't it? Or something like that.
Yes, he was.
Blowing doesn't know all that stuff.
Yeah.
Second one, South Australian Fisheries apparently are very happy with you.
What was that?
Keeping the whiting stocks in.
Oh, God. And this blowing's now a comedian.
I listened to your call on the Adelaide game. You said you're going to bag out an 100.
No, I did. And I went out with Christian from Rusden, and one of his kids got sick. And I have a rule that if you get seasick, I take you in.
Yep.
Hey, look, the next one I've got for you, Rowie.
Oh, God.
I listened to your interview with Jeff Kennett.
Oh, yeah.
And it was quite evident the politician was coming out. The CEO, or whatever you want to call him, of Hawthorn was coming out. But there was one really interesting piece he threw out there that I don't think people picked up on. He said, you don't want to be paying people out big money for nothing. And I think he was alluding to a federal case that's happening at the moment that's all gone.
Yeah.
which tells me that people don't want to come to the table and put their statements in and stand in front of somebody and say, this actually happened.
That's exactly what's
find the
what's
easy
happening.
way.
Yeah. So everyone reckons he ripped me a new one, did he? Was I disrespectful, Mark, or do you reckon I threw a few punches?
I thought you actually got some good points out. That's
okay.
I was in the military for 30-odd years. I did a lot of investigations. You get terms of reference and things like that, time to do stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought you were right on the money, and he was just protecting Hawthorn because those coaches aren't with Hawthorn anymore. They're with two different clubs.
That's exactly
if
right.
you can divest it from Hawthorn, there's a money thing.
Yeah, of course it is, Mark. Apparently I got rope-a-doped. What's rope-a-dope? You're on the rope and you just cop and blow up
the famous Rumble in the Jungle,
but
which
guess
was
what?
Muhammad Ali
Guess
versus
who got rope-a-doped?
George Foreman.
Muhammad Ali come back.
He did.
Muhammad
Ali.
Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, he just held his
floats
hands up.
like a butterfly.
Waited till he got tired.
Stings like a bee.
Bob.
Went
down.
Timmy, I gave Kennett one right between the eyes.
I'm going to go back and listen. I'll be the judge of that.
Timmy.
I'm Don King.
I smacked him. We're going to go to Mark.
All right, well done to Colleen at Semaphore Park. She's the winner of the State of Origin tickets.
Well done.
We'll have more of them tomorrow to give away.
Colleen or Colleen?
Colleen.
You said Colleen.
Did I? Sorry.
Yeah. How would you say Colleen?
Well, I had Blake in the
Can't see the
producer's
spelling.
booth just sort of send that through last second. So
It's a good old-fashioned 70s name, Colleen.
Colleen?
Yep.
There we go.
There you
Got
go,
that
good
correct. All right, time to get to the news. Joe Gauchi on the other side.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G.
Here comes life. Prepare for it with Bupa, CanStar's outstanding value health insurance for 2022. Search Bupa to make the switch today. Bupa, because life happens.
Adelaide Direct Stationers is more than just stationery. We're one of SA's largest suppliers of tech products, washroom products, PPE, workplace health and safety equipment, office furniture, food, snacks, beverages and much more. We have all your office and business needs in one place. With free next day delivery on orders over $50, plus same day 2-hour express delivery. Adelaide Direct Stationers, serving SA's largest businesses and a preferred government supplier. Visit adelaidedirectstationers.com.au.
Go round! I'm pedaling as fast as I can. Oh, shut up. Wait, there's a KFC. $4.95, fill up with mashies. Oh, shut up and take my money.
Not everywhere and not forever. Only till 4 p.m. Pick-up only.
Online, on DAB Digital Radio, and on 1395 AM. Talking Adelaide. This is Adelaide's 5AA.
Down to 8 tonight, a shower or two clearing tomorrow, 17. With the 6 o'clock news, I'm Kerry Turner. Federal MPs have started debating a landmark bill today which would allow the voice referendum to proceed. Australians will be able to have a say as to whether they want the Indigenous advisory body enshrined in the Constitution. The opposition argues Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders should be recognised in the Constitution, but there's no need for the voice. Indigenous Australians Minister Linda Burney's told Parliament the coalition is scaremongering.
Politicians can step out of this after this debate, because the one thing I agreed with in terms of the leader of the opposition is this is not a decision or a plaything of politicians. It is a decision of the Australian people.
A car has been stolen in a home invasion at Hillbank. Just after 3 this morning, the occupant of an Oberon Court address woke to find 2 suspects inside their house. Those suspects demanded the keys to the occupant's blue Holden HSV R8 Maloo ute and took off in it. The car hasn't been found yet. Its rego is S597BNN. A South Australian man has died while descending Mount Everest. More from Lindsay Brennan.
Jason Kennison was climbing the world's highest mountain to raise funds for Spinal Cord Injuries Australia. The 40-year-old learned to walk again after surviving an horrific car crash in 2006. Mr Kennison reached the summit of Everest last week and became unwell. He died on Friday and his body is yet to be recovered. It's the 10th death on Everest this season.
Buy now, pay later providers will need to carry out stricter credit checks under proposed new regulations. The federal government wants to bring companies like Afterpay and Zip under existing lending rules. The changes have been recommended by a major review. Australian Finance Industry Association Chief Executive Diane Tate says the sector will work with the government to get the policy right.
The government has been consulting with the industry and other stakeholders for some time on this. It's clear they want to get this right. They need to get the balance between consumer protection, innovation, competition and choice.
Heavy smoke from wildfires in Canada is causing major visibility and air quality issues across Alberta. Crews from Australia and New Zealand will start to arrive this week to assist Canadian firefighters. The blaze has burned 150 times more area in the province than fires in the last 5 years combined. And there's been a successful SpaceX launch from the Kennedy Space Centre today. The private mission includes the first ever female Saudi astronaut. The crew's headed to the International Space Station for a week. Now turning to FIVEAA sport, and Collingwood's Nick Dacos has escaped with a fine for striking Carlton's Blake Acres. It was deemed intentional but ruled to be low impact. While Port Adelaide won't have its captain for Sunday's match against Richmond at the MCG, Tom Jonas has pleaded guilty to a rough conduct charge. North Melbourne's General Manager of Football, Todd Viney, has labelled the interchange mix-up on the weekend as disappointing. The Kangaroos used a 76th interchange going over the cap of 75, which resulted in a free kick and a 50-metre penalty that handed Sydney the win. Viney says an AFL official had informed the bench they had one interchange rotation left on Saturday.
Unfortunately, as I said, the communication probably from bench to box wasn't quite good enough, but we think we've put things in place now that will safeguard should that situation happen again.
And Manchester City is celebrating its Premier League three-peat after beating Chelsea 1-0. Now checking FIVEAA traffic.
Worried about cheap insurance? Who offers great value cover you won't regret? Amy does. Before buying insurance issued by Amy, read the PDS and TMD at amy.com.au and consider whether it's right for you.
At Sickliff Park at a crash, Brighton Road near Schofield Road. Morpheville, another collision there, Morford Road and Anzac Highway. And Oakton, another smash, Sir Ross Smith Boulevard near Blacks Road causing delays. Pretty slow at the moment, Port Rush Road at Fowlers Road with a camera, Springbank Road at Kernlight Gardens. Looking for the perfect snack? Try Porto's new chips and strips. 2 crispy chicken strips and snack chips with your choice of dipping sauce, just $5. Grab yours from a Porto today. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEAA.
To the FIVEAA forecast.
Get the Toyota Forklift Advantage. Visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au.
Down to 8 tonight, a shower or two clearing tomorrow, 17. Mostly sunny on Wednesday, 20. And then for Thursday, showers and 17. Right now it is 12 degrees. Now let's hear what's happening on 9 News tonight.
An inspirational charity trek ends with an Adelaide man dying on Everest. An innocent driver hurt, hit by a stolen car in Adelaide's west. Details of a crackdown on buy now, pay later schemes. Moves to reduce mortgage switching, but the ways in which you can still cash in. And only on 9, the diet, good for your family and your budget. I'm Brenton Raglas. The full story on 9 News, happening now.
It's SUV season at Mercedes-Benz, with significant end of financial year savings on select new and demonstrator models while stocks last. Shop in-store or online today. Ends the 30th of June. Terms and conditions apply.
G'day everyone, Cornsey here. Now, I know a great team and I see one, and the South Australian hydraulic team I rate the highest is BL Shipway. I've known them for a long time. David Shipway is one of the best blokes you'll ever meet. BL Shipway, they've been looking after your hydraulic and pneumatic needs since 1953 with brands like Ryco, Rexroth, Enerpac, Hydac, Oilpath, EasyFit and many more. And if you can't get to them, they'll send a Ryco 24/7 van to you anytime, anywhere. blshipway.com.au, a South Australian team you can count on.
Okie dokie, Timmy.
All right, my friend.
Beechwood,
I'll tell you what.
I love Beechwood.
Some builders, they just, they walk along and they'll see a block and it'll be sloping and go,
No, they run the other way.
Yeah, this is getting a bit hard.
Do that noise again.
I'll tell you what they look for. They want a flat block. That's what they want.
They want easy.
Don't worry about that. That could cost you a lot more. But when Beechwood Homes look at a sloping block, they go, wow.
They lick their
Look
lips.
at the possibilities that we can do with this.
They do. Beechwood Homes know how to make the most of a sloping block. In fact, they specialise in it, and I am living proof.
You've been there, done that.
The team at Beechwood, they'll design a home that works with the land you have, take full advantage of every square
Taking care
metre.
of your hearing health
She's
is...
done it again. So if you've got a sloping block, or a sloping block is the only piece of land on offer in the area, don't get scared.
No.
Go for it.
Just go for it.
Go for it. Ring
because
Beechwood.
you can ring Beechwood.
Beechwood has your back.
They'll help you.
They'll always have your back. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home. Google Beechwood Adelaide.
Taking care of your hearing health is so important, and it's that much easier with Audica. If you're a pensioner or a veteran card holder, you may be eligible for government subsidised hearing aids. And if you don't qualify, Audica also offers 0% interest, fee-free and flexible payment plans. For full conditions and to book your free hearing check, visit audica.com.au or call 1-800-HEARING. Free hearing checks are for adults aged 26 years and over. Conditions apply under the Australian Government Hearing Services Program.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
8 minutes after 6. Still lots to come. Thunderbird's very own Matilda Garrett's going to join us in a few moments' time. Lost on the weekend, but they are still top of the ladder with a few weeks to go in their season. But now it's time to speak to one of our favourite Reds.
Absolutely, he's had a terrific season, as well as Adelaide United's had a terrific season, but it all ended, unfortunately, over there at Central Coast. And to talk about it, Joe Gauchi joins us. G'day, Joe.
Evening, boys. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. You know, it's one of those things I always say you get 24 hours to be a sook, but I might take a bit longer on this one just because it's the last game. But, mate, it was a disappointing finish, but I think overall another really good season from the Reds.
Yeah, no, I think upon reflection, it's been a really good year. It's always disappointing to go out just, you know, at the last hurdle, I suppose. You know, one game away from a grand final. But no, I think on reflection, it's been a really good year for us and something we're looking to build on going into next season. A lot of the squad is staying together, and no, it's really exciting times.
Geez, you had some bad luck as well. I mean, Clough hit the post there and Kunda hit the post. You had to stop a Ben Wallen own goal, first of all, before they got a score in. But you were busy as. But, yeah, it was just a bit of luck that went their way.
Yeah, no, I think that's what can happen sometimes. You know, you hit the post, the ball doesn't fall your way, and, you know, the game's lost. But no, I think it was always going to be an uphill battle. I think the result the previous week at home at Cooper's wasn't the way we wanted to start the tie. And, you know, even in saying that, I think we all were extremely confident going into the weekend's game. But the first goal at the start of the second half really set us back. And then it was going to be a real uphill push from there. So, no, in saying that, I'm really proud of our group and what we've been able to achieve this year. And we've, you know, given a lot of boys debuts this year and giving them that exposure to the A-League. So they're only going to grow and learn from that.
It was 0-0 at half-time. Then the Mariners went bang, bang. And then, as Timmy said, there was a bit of bad luck for you guys. But it did end up a 12-2 aggregate versus the Mariners in 4 games. But you know what? If I wind back 10 weeks when you guys were absolutely smoking hot and you got it together, I still think it's a lost opportunity because I reckon you were one of the 2 best teams. And we all thought, Joe, that if you got up against Melbourne City, you'd beat them.
Yeah.
So do you feel like that? Are you flatter than bush biscuits, or you've landed where you think you should have landed?
No, I think we all kind of, you know, like you said, really, we went on that 12-game unbeaten run. You know, we were beating every team that they put in front of us. And then I guess after we ended up going 6 points clear in second, and, you know, then really had a poor run to end the season. And it was probably not the best time to have that run going into finals. But, you know, we picked ourselves up for that first finals games against Wellington, and I think that gave us a lot of confidence going into the 2-leg game against the Mariners. They're just a good side, and they've just had the number on us all year. Like you said, an aggregate, over the course of the 4 ties this season, they've really blown us out of the water. but everyone else we've been there or thereabouts with for the whole year. So in a way, I guess it's just the one team that's had our number. So you can look at it in the positive way in that, but ultimately they were the team to do us. And I think, it has been a year where we probably could have. I think we expected to really go on and make it to the final, but it just hasn't fallen that way, unfortunately.
Well, you had a remarkable season with Goody. What do you need to go one further? What's that now? 3 seasons in a row you finished in the semis. Is it more than just more money from the owners?
I think so. I think the group that we've kept together now has been here for a few years now. This has been my 3rd season at the club. All the new signings that we've brought in over the past 2 seasons are then going to be here. They're going to be here again next year. The younger boys that have come in and played, a lot of minutes this year. Ethan Allegage, Nest obviously had a standout breakthrough year. Luka Jovanovic is another one. Johnny Yole got some great exposure before he fell to an injury. So they've all got a taste, and I'm sure they'll be hungry to push on and play more minutes next season. And they've definitely gained that experience. We've also had a number of injuries that sort of, I guess, messed up the consistency we had within the starting 11. Nick Ansell had a few injuries. Harry Van, a saga serious injury, which put him out for the majority of the year. But those injuries play a big part in the depth of our squad, and it means you've got players that are probably not playing at 100% fitness every week, and they're still putting in the performances that we have. So it does come down to a little bit of luck with those injuries, but I think ultimately if we can keep the squad together, keep them healthy, as well as these young boys who are now really, really hungry for more professional minutes. It's exciting, I think, what we can be doing going into next season.
So last pre-season, Joe, where did you see yourself, and how do you rate your own development this season?
I guess this is now the time of reflection. I haven't had much time to reflect on it,
Yeah.
but I had one goal coming into this season off the back of, I guess, really breaking through last season, and it was to play every game, to really cement my spot in the Adelaide team, and to really try and play as consistently as possible. And I've managed to achieve that and a whole lot more. I think the real icing on the cake with the Socceroos call up a couple of months ago was just I could never have dreamed of that happening. I guess so quickly. It's been a really special year, and I think a lot of lessons learned and mistakes made throughout the season as well. It hasn't been just a season of highs. It's been has had its ups and downs. But it's been a great year and something I don't think I'll ever forget the season I made my debut for the Socceroos.
No, well done, mate. Excellent. And that's pretty much the way I saw it too. Fantastic. What do you get up to now? What happens in your off season?
I think we have about 5-6 weeks. For myself personally, I'm hoping to go into the Socceroos camp for the game against Argentina, which got announced today. So that's the aim of mine. So it'll just be ticking over for the next couple of weeks until that squad's announced. But then after that, it'll just be a bit of downtime. Let your body rest and recover. We go pretty hard for quite a long time. I think we started pre-season the first week of July last year. So been going at it for a while now. Just a bit of downtime, recover, spend time with my girlfriend, my family, and just have a bit of a break, a bit of a holiday.
You're allowed to.
You ramp it back up. You ramp it back up though, sort of leading back into pre-season, because you have to come back fit and ready to go. I think our Australia Cup campaign will start within the first month of us being back in for pre-season. So you have to have that base level of fitness to then, get the sharpness back on the football side.
Well, you're a professional, Joe. You'll do that. Now, you touched on that. The Socceroos play Argentina June 15 in Beijing. Gee, what an opportunity. Are you in the squad? You'd know. Come on, Joe. Scoop us.
No, the squad stays very quiet until it gets announced. The players find out for the last camp. I think I found out the day before or the day of the squad getting announced. So No, it stays very quiet. But I'm hoping that
you'll
take
be in the
part in
squad.
that.
You're going to win the Golden Gloves for the A-League too, as the goalkeeper of the season, Joe. I'll bestow that on you now. There you go.
Are they golden? That sounds more like boxing to me.
Is
But
it?
what do they call it, Joe? The
goalkeeper
of the year.
The clean sheet man.
Goalkeeper of the year. Goalkeeper of the year. That wouldn't be the clean sheet. I wouldn't win it if it was the clean sheet man, because we didn't have too many this year.
That's
so
all right,
hopefully
Joe.
a few more next year.
Don't put yourself down, Joe. How many did you let through that you should have stopped? There you go. You'd know.
More than I would have liked.
Okay, good answer.
That's a good answer.
Now are we going to keep you? Have you been getting any overtures from any overseas clubs? Because, God, I reckon you would be. Is your manager busy fielding inquiry, Joe Gauchi?
Well, I've signed a 3-year deal, so I'm looking to stay in red for next season.
Joe,
it's the club where I've got all the opportunities and the exposure, and big thing for me is just to continue to play, because that's where I've been having all the learnings this year. So
well done.
Now with a 3-year deal, it got me locked away for a couple more years.
Yeah, and you got Eugene to grow with you. Joe, you're a star, mate. We loved your season. Keep it up. You're professional. All the best with the Socceroos camp in Argentina, June 15 at Beijing. And if you're not on the plane, ring me and I'll just come out there, all guns blazing.
No, I'll give Arnie a ring.
You'll ring Arnie.
Yeah, I'll ring Arnie. Yeah, no
Joe,
worries.
well done, buddy. Great season.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Joe.
Lad. Local, got him back.
Yeah, Joe Gauchi, of course, the keeper for Adelaide United all season, did a marvellous job and made his Socceroos debut as well. So that's a terrific year. Well done, mate.
We love hearing all those sort of stories. 18 after 6, Matilda Garrett from our Thunderbirds next.
The 5AA Sports Show with Rowie and Timmy G. He's a key defender for the Adelaide Crows and a fan of fine films. Join Tom Duday with David and Will each week on 5AA Breakfast, thanks to Leader Computers.
Leader Computers, Australia's largest Australian-owned PC manufacturer, based right here in Adelaide.
Australia's greatest sporting rivalry is back with the 2023 Ampol State of Origin Series. Witness the game's best players square off in the ultimate fight for state pride, as two of the greatest coaches, Freddie Fittler and Billy Slater, go head-to-head. The Maroons' dominant performance last year saw them reclaim the shield, so the Blues will be out to deny Queensland another series win. Ampol State of Origin kicks off Wednesday, May 31 at Adelaide Oval. Unreal. Secure your seats today at nrl.com/tickets.
Tired of your rent and bills going up and up and up? Pump them down with EcoVantage. It's easy to switch your existing hot water system for an energy-efficient heat pump, even if you're renting. And thanks to federal and state government-facilitated subsidies, it could cost as little as $0. Start saving hundreds off your water heating costs. Hit up your landlord and ask for the EcoVantage switch. Visit ecovantage.com.au. T's and C's apply.
Did you know that coffin signing is gaining popularity at funerals? Guests are asked to write a message to their loved one on a light-coloured coffin. For a personalised goodbye at a price you can afford, talk to the team at simplicityfunerals.com.au.
Loving grandmother Joan should have been enjoying the fruits of a life of hard work. Instead, at 70, she was on the streets, penniless and heartbroken. Right now in Australia, older women are experiencing homelessness at alarming rates. Our mothers, grandmothers, aunts and sisters need your help. Donate to the Vinnie's Winter Appeal at vinnies.org.au or call 131812 and give immediate and long-term support to vulnerable older women like Joan.
Now, you'd think that you can rely on a pest inspector to find and remove pests.
Absolutely. They'd have to be able to find them and kill them.
Well, unfortunately, there are some pest inspectors that can identify them, but they have to fob you off to another guy to kill them.
Not so at Pest Inspect Australia. Pest Inspect Australia are not only licensed to carry out pest inspections, they can take care of all your pest control needs.
They're licensed to find them and kill them. Go to pestinspectaustralia.com.au.
We've got Shane from Drummond Golf with us. Shane, probably not a good idea to play golf if it's wet and horrible outside.
Definitely no, Tommy. Wouldn't be a lot of fun either, which is why we think all golfers out there will love our Big Swing Golf
indoor simulators. Hey, it's fully endorsed by the PGA Tour and the one and only Tiger Woods. And it's at Drummond Golf Mile End. We have a room full of simulators to play golf and other sports with your mates, rain, hail or shine.
Now, I have had a crack at this and it is brilliant. There's 84 amazing courses to play and 12 other sports you can choose from. So jump online and take a look at bigswinggolf.com.au, then call your mates and head to Drummond Golf Mile End. Shane, thanks so much. We'll catch you for a quick round soon.
Absolutely looking forward to it, Tommy.
With more stores close to home and everyday low prices, great food lives at Foodland, the mighty South Aussies.
Rowie and Timmy G on the 5AA Sports Show.
22 minutes after 6.
It certainly is, and our T-Birds, well, they went down on the weekend to the Melbourne Vixens. Joining us, Matilda Garrett. She is our GD. She joins us now. Tilly, welcome.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
Now, young Tilly, we only shot 39. We lost by 21 points. Only our second loss for the year. What happened?
Yes, that is a very good question. We started off really well. So after the first quarter, we were up. And I think the Vixens came out and adjusted what they were doing. And unfortunately, we didn't respond. So a bit of a disappointing loss for us.
A bit of complacency, Tilly.
Oh, I hope not. We knew that the Vixens were, it was always going to be a tough match because they're such a quality side and they're a team that have been together for a long time and a lot of years now. But, yeah, I feel like it was just one of those games where nothing was quite working well for us and, unfortunately, we were missing some of our 2-point shots and they were capitalising on any of our errors and were sinking 2-point shots themselves. So, yeah, that didn't help.
Yeah, that's true. And now, Tilly, there were some injuries during the week. How many came up and played the game and perhaps carried one? And who missed the game in the end?
Yeah, so Hannah Petty, she missed the game with a bit of a quad strain.
The skipper.
And then,
How long will that keep her out?
Yeah.
She'll be back this week.
She will be back this week. And then Tipper Dwan, our starting goal attack of recent, she went over on her ankle. However, she is back running and hopeful to play this weekend as well.
Okay.
So, yeah, we did have a few players that were, well, they were 2 big losses. So everyone else that was in the squad was good to go, and we definitely shouldn't have lost the way we lost, or not easily, we could have won. But, yeah, it was disappointing and hard when you don't have your skipper and one of your 10 players as well.
Was it assessed by the coaches fairly in depth, or was it one of those things like, okay, we just had a stinker, let's move on?
Yeah, I think it was one of those. Like, we are pretty proud in the fact that we're, even after a loss like that, we're still in a good position on the ladder, which in previous years hasn't always been the case. So I think for us, it was one of those things that it was an absolute stinker. No one particularly shone on the court, and we will definitely look at that, and that will not be happening again for us this season.
It's our First Nations round this weekend, round 11. You play West Coast FIVEAA Saturday night. It's second v third. There's no greater time to have a response, is there?
No, absolutely not. This weekend's the bounce back. FIVEAA, another really great side, and they had a huge win on the weekend. So I think going into this game, they've got Janelle Fowler, who is an extremely tall goal shooter. So we're just going to have to try and slow down their scoring, really.
No more food in the box for them. Just cut their supply if you need. You're the GD. Do you take her, Tilly?
No, our Shamira Sterling, she'll be in keeper probably against Janelle.
Okay.
But the goal attack last weekend did score a lot of 2-point shots. So
damn it.
Sham and I will definitely have our work cut out for us this weekend.
You got FIVEAA Maggies, Lightning Swifts, 4 games left. Top 2's the goal, isn't it? You need to finish top 2.
Yes, that is definitely the goal. The goal is to, make finals and, finish in the top 2.
Done.
Rowie mentioned about the Indigenous round. You got a nice little outfit for this week? And who was a part of the design?
Yeah, we sure do. So our dress is designed by Shane Cook and in collaboration collaboration with the SASTA students and the T-Birds as well. So we've been pretty lucky. Shane has designed our dresses since 2021, I think, and every year it encapsulates what the current team stands for. So a lot of the design is about connection and family, which were the two big things that both the SASTA students and T-Birds wanted to be displayed on the dress.
Do it proud, Tilly. Thanks for your time.
Thank you so much.
Good luck.
Well done, Matilda Garrett there, Adelaide Thunderbirds. They'll be right. Round 11, West Coast Fever. Get down there. Yeah. Second v third.
Oh, it'll be huge.
Oh,
I want to bounce back. It was a thriller last time. We just got up by a point. So
hello,
do
Mark.
it again.
How you going, guys?
Yeah, good, buddy.
This call's a little bit about the Crows, but not really. It's a bit more about the interstate teams.
Yeah.
I think the AFL, I think the league's got more professional, but in some areas they haven't got more professional. I don't agree, personally. I don't think games during the season should be in Darwin, Cairns, Ballarat.
Yep.
You know, you look at Collingwood this year, and I use it as an example, and it's probably the same for a number of Victorian teams. I think Collingwood have got 14 games at the MCG and 3 at Marvel. Now, you know, it's not a level playing field with a draw like that.
It's not. No, of course it's not.
And unfortunately, Mark, it won't be until we get this ability to be able to play each other either once or twice in a season and you go play home and away. Until then, we're going to get an uneven fixture, as they call it.
Yeah, I'd like to see them sending the Victorian teams to Cairns and Darwin and the Tiwi Islands and everywhere.
Yeah, well, commercially, they don't make money, apparently, Mark. That's what they shove down our gobs. Well, Collingwood have got 14 at the MCG. You're right, 3 at Marvel. I just had a quick look. Carlton have 9. Essendon have 14. I mean, where's the grand final played? Oh, that's
MCG?
right. Till 2056 at the MCG. Oh, that's right. Give me a spell.
Yeah, it might have blown out
Mark,
to
great
59.
call. I'll give you a $50 Powers voucher because anyone that
Mark.
comes on the show and pots the VFL, he's a friend of mine.
Oh, friend of show.
Okay, friend of show. The old, that's our friend of show of ours.
28 minutes after 6. Graham Corns in studio next.
The 5AA Sports Show. Rowie and Timmy G. 5AA Breakfast.
The Australian Federal Police say Russia isn't cooperating as they investigate the Medibank hack. Moscow was briefed on those responsible, but have received little help. I kind of... That's going to be the least surprising thing.
Informing Adelaide.
We sent over 100 Bushmaster vehicles to carry Ukrainian troops to fight them.
Yeah, that was probably a bit annoying.
I don't think we're high up on the let's do these guys a solid list at the moment.
Exactly. After all we've done for them.
6 a.m. weekdays on 5AA.
G'day, it's Rory Sloan. For most business PC brands, a 4-hour service guarantee means they'll call you back in 4 hours. But at Leader Computers, a 4-hour service guarantee on Leader's business range means they'll come to your work site and have you back in business inside 4 hours. Leader Computers are made here in Adelaide with better service, better support and speedy turnaround times. Grow your business and get behind a Leader. Find your local dealer at leadersystems.com.au.
Dad's home! Hi, Dad! Daddy!
Kids, exciting news. You know that pool we've always dreamed about getting?
Yeah, a new pool!
Well, we've had an even better idea. We're getting a new driveway instead. From Adelaide Exposed Concrete.
Yes! Woo! We're getting a driveway! We're getting a driveway! Can we invite our friends over to play on it?
You sure can.
Adelaide Exposed Concrete. Best on ground all year round.
Every 2 years, if you're aged 50 to 70,